I don't know what to call this.
I don't know either.
I don't
have no clue.
Well,
this is your gig, man.
I know. I thought Wheels and Reels would be a good name, but apparently that's taken up by every drive-in in America that's coming back because of COVID.
Okay.
So.
Well, we could just call it. I don't know.
I know. Like that's the thing. Like trying to be cool. The Movie Car Podcast. I mean, that's lame though. You can't make a T-shirt of Movie Car Podcast. That's too wordy.
The Meals on Wheels?
That's a charity, I think.
No, let's call it. I don't know. That's a good question. We can talk about that.
We should just put this out as like an unnamed pilot.
This is the pilot that will be named at some point.
Yeah. So basically, we're going to do a movie car podcast, or at least we're going to try a movie car podcast.
Yeah, why not?
People online will absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
But I like cars and movies. You like movies and cars.
Yes.
I think in that order.
Yes.
And I'm cars then movies.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's a safe.
That sounds good.
Basically, we want to make a podcast about movie cars. Well, basically, my goal at least. I don't know what your goal is. Your goal is to.
My goal is just to live like the next 10 years because I think that's pretty much all I got.
Well,
so.
I think. Well, I told this idea to you yesterday while you were making like a grilled cheese.
Yes.
So you don't have that much invested into this idea. But my goal for this is to I want to eventually get to we'll watch a movie. And then we'll just do a podcast about that car movie.
Yes.
Good. So Fast and Furious. So I brought a list here of movies we should definitely do.
Okay, because I'm gonna have to watch a lot of those Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
movies and stuff,
I figured you hadn't probably seen
not
many.
all of them.
Oh, by the way, I'm Zach. I don't know if I said that.
And I'm Gary.
There we go.
I don't even like to. I don't even like to be. I hate my name. I absolutely.
Yeah, I know
hate
you
my
do.
name.
You've always said that.
I would prefer to be like STG, Sidetrack G.
Yeah.
It's
something
different.
There's never been. I mean, getting right to movies. There's never been a cool Gary in a movie.
Never.
There's Gary
never.
the Snail, SpongeBob, which
never.
I think most people my age, Gary the Snail is like that's from SpongeBob, SpongeBob's pet snail.
Right. Yeah.
That's like the number one Gary. Mm-hmm. I don't know of any others.
Oh gosh! Every time you see a movie and you hear the name Gary in the movie, you will see a very nerdy, horrible, geeky, terrible character. It is like the worst name in all of moviedom. It is.
It's pretty really terrible.
It's a horrible, hideous name.
I won't be naming my kid Gary.
Good.
So.
I thank goodness. I appreciate that. I have no idea why my parents did that. It was awful. Yeah, I always hated the name. And people say the sweetest sound you can hear is your own name. That is not true.
That is
not true. No, it's not true.
My name's okay. If I can give some criticisms here.
Jeez. Okay, I guess after 20
Here's the
years,
thing. Well, I don't think you had this plan when you named me.
Okay.
But my name is easily spelled as something else. Because my name is Z-A-C-K.
Right.
But it's very easily spelled Z-A-C-H.
Right.
Which is like the more common spelling.
Yeah, we never thought about that.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah. So like that's what I was talking to Bella the other day, and I'm like, when we have kids, like
who is this Bella?
It's whoever. It's just a stranger I know. And when we have kids, like we want to name them something that like there's one definitive spelling.
Yeah, okay.
Because like the amount of times that teachers, friends, even my YouTube comment section is filled with Z-A-C-H.
Well,
which like I don't blame them. It's not their fault.
You have to understand though, you actually were going to be named Crayon. And it was going to be spelled X, the letter X. And that's how we would know if anyone like didn't know you for real, because they'd say, "Hey, where's X?" And we'd say, "No, his name is Crayon." You have no idea who this guy is.
You joke about that. You know Elon Musk's kid's name, right?
No.
It's like AEX-12 or something. It's seriously, we're getting horribly sidetracked. But anyway.
That is who I am.
I know. And we can talk for hours about that stuff.
I know.
No, I didn't. Mm-hmm. Did I?
You did. I was outside. I was doing 5 different projects at the same time.
Typical summer day.
You were working on your car, one of the many cars.
Typical summer day.
Yes. You were working on a car, and there were other people. I think Nick was working on lights on his car.
Yeah.
Very typical day.
Typical summer day.
And I was doing and you just said you are like sidetracked. You are sidetracked every which way. And I think I said,
man, I'm a YouTube genius. How about that, huh?
You are. You should have like a gazillion subscribers.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
I really.
You surely should. Yeah.
I passed 35,600, which I just passed 35,000 like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, which has really been cool.
Yeah,
it's really been cool
awesome.
to see. In the last month, I've gotten like 1,300 subscribers, which is just crazy that many people even know who I am, which is weird.
That's awesome.
Anyway.
Awesome. Yes, I'm sorry. So back to the...
point of this podcast...
Yes.
And by the way, I totally didn't start a timer, so I have no idea when we're running.
We are at 6 minutes.
That's okay.
Just want to let you know.
Thanks. So the point of this podcast is we really like movies and cars, and we want to kind of dive deeper into each movie. Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only... I don't know why my mind just went blank. That's the only car movie that exists.
This entire series of podcasts will be only about
Smokey and the Bandit. Each episode is hypercritical of 1 minute of film, which probably going to be like 8 episodes of Burt Reynolds' mustache. And the one time he breaks the fourth wall in that movie.
Yes, he does.
He breaks the fourth wall.
I know he does. Yeah,
I learned about that sadly from TikTok.
Did you really?
Yeah, because it was like a trend. People are like, what's your favorite breaking the fourth wall moment? And everyone was like, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, mine is Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
Mine is Deadpool when he breaks the fourth wall in the fourth wall.
Right.
And he says it's like 16 walls.
There was a really good Cartoon Network one.
Yeah.
Where it's some little animated show, and the like little animated girl like writes something on the screen.
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, let me wipe that off, and then it cuts to a wide shot, and he goes, no, closer. And like it cuts in like closer. He's like closer, and then he rubs it off the screen because it stayed there.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "What about that one?" And it's the Cartoon Network logo, and he goes, "That one doesn't rub off."
Wow.
That was a good one. I have that saved somewhere.
I like that. So yes, we go getting back to the car
movies. I was thinking today, even the animated movie Cars.
Sure.
Which I haven't seen past the first one. There's
you
3.
Haven't?
No, there's 3 of them.
I saw a bit of 2 and was really disappointed. But
I heard 2's bad. I heard 3 picks up again.
I don't know. I've never seen 3, so that's one we should look at. But here's the thing I was thinking about when you told me about movies. You told me about car movies.
36 hours ago.
36 hours. You told me about car movies, or you made that mention of that, and I thought, how many movies are there actually about cars where the car is the central character?
Right.
There's not that many. I mean, there's there are there's lots of movies with cars in them that are extremely famous. Bullet is like one of the most famous, which is interesting because if you go back, everybody makes a big deal about Bullet.
Yeah.
But if you go back it's not
a good movie. That and I went back and watched the original Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh, you did? I've never seen that.
It was on, I think it's on Amazon.
You're going to hear me say that a lot. I've not seen a lot of movies, but that's pretty sad.
You've seen a lot of movies. You haven't seen a lot of car movies.
Yeah. And actually, by the way, I just want to say, it's very apropos that we are sitting here with the movie case next to us. We have a stack of movies, which I'm sure
we have Smokey and the Bandit?
Yes, we have 3 different versions of Smokey and the Bandit. We have tons of movies, and as the viewers can see...
in our audio format.
There's an entire case of movies, and we have all the James Bond movies. We have every single James Bond movie. So
right, which we'll get to a little bit later. Oh, you know what they put on Netflix?
What?
Or no. It was Amazon Prime. I almost clicked on it.
What?
Blues Brothers 2000.
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't know what's-his-face is in it. Fred Flintstone. Fred Flintstone's in it.
Yeah.
John Goodman.
John Goodman.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, you know,
I almost clicked on it.
it's not good.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know if I've ever told you this.
What?
I always thought that Blues Brothers, the original one, was a sequel.
Really?
Because at the beginning, he goes, "Where's the Cadillac?" And he's like, "Oh, I sold the Cadillac for a microphone or whatever."
Right.
And I always thought as a kid, I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen the first one where they have the Cadillac and they're the Blues Brothers." And like, because Blues Brothers starts off with they're down in the dumps. It starts off hard.
Yeah, it's very gritty.
They get out of the Joliet prison.
Joliet.
Yeah.
It starts out very realistic and very gritty. I mean, that movie, and then you sort of kind of feel a little bit of just the fantasy part of it when he first jumps. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
He jumps.
Sorry, what, 19... what was it?
It was, I want to say, not 80s even.
It was late 70s, right?
Late 70s, yeah.
Which is interesting because the Dodge Monaco in that movie wasn't that old.
No, it wasn't. In fact, yes. Yes, because... So I was thinking about that, and I thought, well, maybe you would ask me what my favorite car movie is.
Yeah.
So go ahead and ask me.
All right, let's run it back. So what's your favorite car movie?
I don't have one. No, my favorite car movie is Blues Brothers. I have to say it is truly Blues Brothers because to me, that Dodge sedan was a character. It really was character in that movie.
Which sadly they don't make a lot of reproductions of them.
No,
or like die casts and stuff. Because I'm always big in die casts and stuff. Did I get you one?
You did. You got me one.
I thought they had one.
And I had, they at Volo Museum up in where is it Volo? Up in Volo.
Volo, yeah.
They have the one of the replica Bluesmobiles, but it really was. And here's the reason why that movie, for so many reasons.
Yeah.
Like I was so enamored by the movie is because number one, my very favorite song of all time, Peter Gunn, plays throughout that.
That's your favorite song of all time?
Yes, because I grew up with that song.
Yeah.
And when I started making movies when I was 10 years old, I used that song like in some of my very first movies.
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and it was such a cool song, and to me that was the anthem, you know, of the cool guy. So that movie, of course, with the car, which my parents had.
Which I have a photo of.
Yes.
It was white.
Yes, my
Well,
parents...
it was white and rust.
Mostly rust, but yes, white. It was a 1976 Dodge Royal Monaco. That was the car. Monaco. Dodge Royal Monaco. It had the eyelids that opened up.
Oh, the garage doors.
Yes, the garage door. Yeah, the flip.
Yeah, the Lincoln Continental I reviewed had those.
Yes.
And those are vacuum operated.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh. Ours didn't work.
Well, yeah, because they get vacuum leaks. Because it's vacuum. I mean, you remember tracking down all the vacuum leaks on the RX-7.
Yes.
I mean, think of the headlights being run off of that.
Right.
So the headlights, I have video of it. I accidentally got video of them closing. Because I got a video of them opening, but then they would lose vacuum over a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And so we were setting up the GoPro to do rolling shots of the Continental. And so I set the GoPro up and I was just talking to him. And while we were talking, the eyelid is slowly closing. So I just sped it up. And I cropped in on just the headlight and it just closes.
Very good. Yes,
so,
very good.
Yeah, a little editing trick there.
Very smart. So my parents had a 76 Dodge Royal Monaco, which was awesome. And it was a tank.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That, to me, was the Dodge Ram to you. The Dodge Ram truck to you. So I grew up with the...
Speaking of which, I got an update on the Ram.
I heard.
Did you?
I heard.
The frame split.
Yes. I was kind of sad. That truck was... Yeah, but it had a good life.
It had a great life, and it was ready to go. And I always had plans of buying it back or getting it back and refurbishing it.
Yeah.
There's no coming back from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once the frame goes, as we learned with the Red RX-7, when the frame goes, you throw in the towel.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree, and I was kind of saddened to hear that. But it did have a good life. It had a lot of use. You couldn't get more use out of a vehicle. Oh, my gosh. We used the heck out of that thing, and it was, it was great. But the Dodge Royal Monaco was my version of that. I took that car up to Michigan. Mm-hmm. I took that car everywhere. I learned on that car. I was the first one when I got my learner's permit. I actually took it through a bank drive-through. Did I ever tell you this story?
I think you took out the side of it, right? You took the whole side of the car out?
So there's these giant, stone gravel pillars next to the drive-up.
Yeah.
And I drove too close to them, and I scraped the entire side of the car. It was the most gut-wrenching sound you've ever heard.
I know so many people that have done that.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Horrible.
Yeah, I remember I was going to a friend's grad party.
Yeah.
And my friend Madison pulled up in her minivan. Yeah. And I pulled up behind her.
Yeah.
And we got out, and I was walking away, and I was turning around to wait for her to walk into the party.
Right.
And the whole side of her minivan is gone, just ripped off.
What?
And she comes running up to me, putting the finger up to her lips, shut up. And I was like, what did you do? And she was like, I was in a parking garage at work.
Oh, boy. And it just happened? It just happened. No, that's a scary.
And I was all right, try to have fun at this grad party because you got a long conversation when you head home.
That is exactly right. That is a gut-wrenching, horrible feeling.
Knock on wood, I've never done it to my car, although I curbed one of the wheels the other day.
Yeah, I mean,
McDonald's drive-thru. Texting on my phone. Cut the corner. My perfect brand new car.
Yeah.
Curbed one of the wheels. It's like that big. It's like half of a dime. It's the smallest nick, but I know it's there. It's the worst feeling.
I know. But
I'm going to get those wheels powder coated anyway, so.
But the other thing about that is, though, there's a little sense of relief when you have the first ding or something. At first, it's a horrible, horrible feeling.
Yeah.
But then you're kind of like, okay, the car is broken in. If I get another little ding, it's not a big deal.
I understand that feeling, but also I'm still paying monthly.
Yeah, well, no, it should be.
And so, when that rock hit me on the highway and dented my roof, took paint off too, which I need to get a paint pen.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good-sized rock. It flew up from a semi.
That sucks.
Now I'm thinking, so I'm paying $400 a month for a dented roof car?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. The Mazda should take money off my payment.
I think so. I agree. That's the way.
I physically have less car than what I was paying for originally.
That's the way life, should work, and cars should work. I think that stones and gravel should be illegal. I think that they should be
just as a concept.
Yeah, because they hit so many cars. I mean,
I think it should definitely be required that if you're carrying stone and gravel, you should have a lid.
You should. Yeah, I think actually it probably is a law somewhere. I don't know. So, yeah, probably.
I mean, there's also on this exact couch. I did a podcast with my friend Ethan, who drives a semi. Oh, and there's a thing called tire bats. It's an actual physical baseball bat looking thing.
Yeah.
It's made of some special material, whatever. It's bright orange.
Cubic zirconium.
Probably unobtainium. And then you hit your tire with it, and they can tell if the tire is going to run flat or not.
What?
Yeah. So it's you're supposed to check your treads before every haul and stuff. They literally just take the bat and just hit it against the side, and they're like, "All right, good."
Magic.
Yeah. I'm sure you can get it at truck stops, have them and stuff. It's the cheap way of checking your tires.
Really? That's really. Yeah, and the thing is with tires and trucks is the retreads. That's scary.
Yeah.
Retreads are scary.
Yeah. Hitting one in the Miata was terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because that's that's a quarter of my weight. Yeah.
Well,
hitting a possum in my Miata was that was an emotional experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that possum planned that. He didn't have a very good life.
Yeah. I remember I was listening to a Taylor Swift song, Exile, off her new album. It was me and Madison, and we were out in Plainfield. It was maybe 10, 11 at night. Beautiful night.
Yeah.
Beautiful night. Top down.
Yeah.
We were listening to the music. The Miata was running great.
Wow.
I mean, it was that perfect 70 degrees where the engine was running cool.
Yeah.
I was nailing every downshift.
Yeah.
And I heard her scream.
Yeah.
And then I felt it in my feet.
Oh. Oh,
because little buddy went for a ride.
Yeah. He
went
was
for
pushed.
a ride.
I had pushed.
I had
he
to
knew
go.
Too much.
Yeah.
He knew too much. He was, yes.
He was pushed by some government worker who was out in the middle of nowhere.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, I don't think the possum really had clearance for the level of security that we're thinking of, but
you never know.
But no, that was definitely. I had to take it to the car wash the next day.
Wow.
I ripped the whole front grill out of my car too. The little,
you know,
like the little mouth.
Yeah,
at the bottom of the Miata.
Yeah.
There was like a mesh. I think it was aftermarket.
Oh.
So, someone just put like some mesh in there.
Yeah.
To like look cool or whatever.
Okay.
It's gone now.
Yeah.
So. And then I remember the day before I sold that car, we had to do the alternator on it. And I got under there and I took the skid plate off, which my car had a skid plate, which is very rare for cars that old to have skid plates still.
Really?
Yeah, because people take them off and then they don't put them back on. It's this plastic thing that has 8 different bolts in it. So, and you have to take it off to do an oil change.
Yeah.
So every car comes with skid plates. But at Jiffy Lube or whatever unnamed oil place I used to work, we used to just throw them away. I wouldn't. I was always upper bay. I was only ever filling cars. I never worked lower bay, except for the day that I had to because everyone else was smoking in the basement.
Yes.
And I did 3 cars on my own, and then I got a promotion from this unnamed oil place.
You could have been manager.
No, they offered manager. I didn't tell you that. They offered manager, but I'd have to work every day of the week, and I was still in school.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I have to go to school, and the guy was like, oh, okay. That was the conversation. He was like, you want to be manager? And I was like, I have school. And he goes, all right.
We're going to make you the vice president of the company.
I sent you the Always Sunny clip, right? Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's like, my mom was the manager of Jiffy Lube. And the other guy goes, there's only 3 people working there. It's not a high climb. I play that for everyone whenever I talk about working there.
Yeah.
But whatever.
That's good. That's all
getting back to movie cars as we digress. So I have 2 little segments we could do. First of all, what movies should we watch? Because I don't want to limit it to movies where it's just about the car.
We're at 22, by the way.
Okay, cool. Right. I think Ford versus Ferrari should be like top.
Yeah, I really want to see that, and I've been putting it off, and this would be the perfect reason.
You haven't seen it?
I've not seen it.
So that one I saw in the theater.
Yeah.
With 2 girls.
Oh,
there you
go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
2 girls I was not dating at the time. Yeah. And the whole time I was like, they are gonna hate this. Yeah. They're gonna hate this movie. Yeah. It's all about cars the whole way through. Yeah. It's pretty historically accurate. Yeah. You know, they have Lee Iacocca in it, and you don't know who Lee Iacocca is? Oh, we're doing an episode.
I know.
We're doing an episode.
I know who Lee Iacocca is. I know who Lee Iacocca is. Yeah, I know. K-car. We had a K-car, by the way.
Really?
Absolutely.
I want to drive a K-car so bad.
We had a Dodge Diplomat.
You had a Dodge Diplomat?
We had almost every single car. You have to understand, Dad was a cop. So we had almost every single police car that came out. Oh,
man. I want to drive a K-car so
Plymouth
bad.
Fury, Dodge Diplomat, Dodge Monaco. I know.
Well, you didn't get the good Plymouth Fury.
No, we didn't get the good
If it was a K-car. If it was a K-platform, it was not the good one.
No, we didn't have that. We didn't have the K-car Fury. We had the Plymouth Fury that was actually 2-door. It was huge.
Yeah,
oh, my gosh, the car was huge. That was a cool car.
Yeah.
That was a really beefy car. But we had the Dodge Diplomat, and for the longest time, it didn't have reverse. So you had to pull into a parking spot.
I know that game.
Yeah. So you had to pull into a parking spot. You know, if you could drive straight through or whatever. So, so that's one of them. So that's, all right. So
Ford versus Ferrari,
Ford
and I just put
Ferrari.
Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Good car
definitely.
movie. Smokey, I'll put Smokey.
We're definitely, Smokey and the Bandit.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters is good. And the funny thing is I wish that car had more screen time. I wish there was
me
more
too.
about the car, but there's not.
I looked it up today. Like 4 years ago, the guy who designed it passed away. But he also designed the cars for Blade Runner, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah,
and he did something else. Some other 80s movie.
That wasn't like what's his name? Barry?
Oh, not George Barris. No.
George Barris.
No, that was Batmobile.
Yes.
And he did.
Yeah.
I think that guy went senile. mean, just based off some of the cars he was designing.
Before or after?
I mean, honestly, he was born senile, I think. He was kind of a crazy, wacky dude.
Well, I mean, one of my very favorite cars of all time is the 66 Batmobile.
Oh, 100%. I know there's a guy here in town that has one.
What?
Yeah, I told you this.
Has the? Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay, I wasn't listening.
Yeah. No, there's a guy in town at the condo place.
Yeah.
That has one. I've seen it.
You mean at Iron Gate?
Yeah. I've seen it.
Well, okay.
I want to like befriend him and like see if I can review it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a long shot.
No, that's very cool. But by the way, did you finish the story about the girls not liking the movie, or did they like the movie?
Yeah. Sorry, totally got sidetracked. We got out of the movie theater. They absolutely loved it.
Did they?
They loved it.
That's bizarre.
It was really surprising. The funny thing
bizarre.
was that, well, first of all, there's something that happens at the end of the movie.
Oh.
And they're like, did that actually happen? And I was like, yes, that like it was all real. Like,
is there a unicorn?
Yes, the unicorn was real. But the funny thing, the one difference between me loving the movie and them loving the movie was we went out in the parking lot and got in the car, and they're like, I never want to do above 20 miles an hour ever again. Because there's a lot of wrecks in the movie. I mean, it's a racing movie. There's a lot of crashes. And they're like, I was like, I'm putting this CX-5 in sport mode right now. And I'm like, like,
wait, was that our car?
Yeah.
Did you have
I took your car, yeah. Well, this was before I bought my car, and it was snowing that day.
Great.
And it was either, which maybe for another podcast, I looked up the crash test ratings for the G6 as opposed to my current car.
Oh boy, yeah.
You guys were letting me ride around in a rough vehicle. There's some yellows and reds on that crash test rating. My hatchback, the year it came out, the 2019, which is the year that car is. Yeah. It got the top safety pick.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That Pontiac did not.
No, that was one of the reasons why Mom and I were both like so happy and proud of you for choosing that car. I love that car.
It's great.
It's an awesome car.
I don't even think you've driven it yet. It's quick.
I think I like pulled it forward. I think that's as far as I drove it.
Because it's the same motor as the CX-5. It's just smaller and lighter.
Well, I'm sure it's awesome. I mean, you wouldn't have bought a car like that.
I love it every day. But getting back to this, so Ghostbusters, not a car movie, but still has an iconic car.
Has an iconic car.
Oh, Back to the Future, of course.
Back to the Future, absolutely Back to the Future.
Now, do we do... Hold on, let me write this.
1, 2, or 3, or all 3? Or
well,
what?
Do we do a podcast for 1, do a podcast for 2, and a podcast for 3, or do we just roll it all together? I feel like Back to the Future, the plot is pretty much the same across the board.
Marty!
Oh, wait.
Why are we always yelling at each other?
Yeah, we're not in the right time period. Let me make a diorama of how to get to the next time period in whatever materials, and then there's a big tough guy that hates manure, and that's it.
And there's going to be, at the very end, it's going to be all up to the last minute.
Right.
Everything's going to go wrong.
Clock Tower,
and the train. And what was the other one in the middle one? What was the middle movie? There was something in
You
the
don't like
movie.
Back to the Future Part 2.
No, it's not that.
It was my favorite as a kid.
I don't know why.
It still might be.
Why?
It was so cool as a kid seeing the future.
Yeah.
Because it was like the hoverboard. It was the BMW 6 Series CSI that they just put cardboard down the side, and that's the future car. Which actually came up for sale recently.
Did it?
It was one of the background cars.
Oh, that's cool.
They use it in like all the shots.
Well,
there's always the same black BMW in the back.
And what's really funny that you say that about that, and we can talk about that more when we review.
Yeah.
I think we should review each movie separately.
Really?
I really think that we should review each one separately because there's a lot of stuff in 2 that I really like. There's a lot of stuff in 2 that I hate. And what I liked about the first one, it's funny because you talk about the future. I love the fact that he went back to the 50s. I love the fact that when he walks around the corner and they play Mr. Sandman, and it really feels like, oh my gosh, this guy stepped back in time.
Yeah. Or, I've seen that episode. How? It hasn't come out yet. Shut up, kid. You know?
Yeah, so I'm like,
okay, so we'll do an episode for each.
I think that,
you know what? Maybe we'll do 1 and then 2 and 3.
Oh, yeah,
I feel like we could roll 2 and 3 together because what cars are in the third?
Well, you know what's funny?
There's the DeLorean with sweet white walls.
Yes, I know.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I really, at Volo had a replica of the bad guy's car. What was his name?
Biff?
Biff. They had Biff's car.
Which one?
The one in the first movie that gets full of manure and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. You know they made a Hot Wheels of that? With the manure in it?
No.
Yeah, I could never find it.
Wow. The one that Volo had was for sale, but what I noticed was the steering wheel was different. The steering wheel was like white, and it's not white in the movie. I don't think it's white.
Did you notice that just seeing it in the...
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually did, and I was like, there's something different about this car, and then I went back and I watched the movie or saw pictures of it or something. I probably Googled it, and then...
was it a replica or was it screen used?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It just said Biff's car, so
that's the thing that gets tough with movie cars.
Yeah.
Is like most of the screen used cars, because they don't really realize that it's a cult classic until years later. So the screen used cars get scrapped or sold, or odds are. Well, I mean, with the Dukes of Hazzard, all of them got crashed.
Yeah. I mean, technically, we have a movie car. The Model A.
Okay, that's a
technically it's a stretch
on paper. Sure,
it is.
There's like a fender and a wheel.
That's about it. So, I don't know.
Okay.
But what was I was trying to think of what I was going to say. But anyway, yes, that car was for sale. But you're right. The car does get, it gets changed a bit through the different movies. And I think you actually have. Don't you have the Hot Wheels of each one, or the little replicas of each different version?
No.
No, I thought you did.
I have just the first one.
Okay.
I have the first and second.
Okay.
I have the Hot Wheels of the first one, and then I have the Hot Wheels where the wheels are folded down, and there's the Mr. Fusion in the back. Yeah. I never tracked down the third movie one with the train wheels on it, and for some reason a cardboard box full of stuff on the hood.
Yeah, there was old tubes or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Old. And I do want a 3D print one.
Yeah.
There's one you can 3D print that's really cool. I do want a 3D print.
So Back to the Future, definitely.
Yeah. Back to the Future.
I think we should do the Fast and Furious because for my generation, those are the car movies.
Yeah.
First 3 are a must.
Yeah.
4 is good.
Mm-hmm.
4 is okay. 5, really 4 is just boiled down to one joke they make.
Oh.
That's like the only reason that movie ever got remembered. Yeah.
Well, okay.
You want to hear the joke?
Sure.
So it's such a stupid joke, but like car guys clung onto it.
Okay.
The guy, Brian O'Connor, Paul Walker, rip.
Yeah. Okay.
He got like, the police were like, oh, here's your partner. And the guy's holding a drink from Gallo or something. Whatever. Okay. And he's like, for my Skyline, what engine should I go with? Should I go with a Gallo 12 or Gallo 24? And the guy's like, Gallo 24, which it's not a real thing.
Oh.
Like, he's just holding a drink that says Gallo. So he was like trying to show his boss that, I'm butchering this joke, but like he was trying to show his boss that this guy knows nothing, you know? Oh. He was like, what engine is best? And he goes, he was like, oh, I didn't know soda companies make engines.
Uh-huh.
It's like this stupid thing, but like now everyone, like, you'll see on Instagram comments or whatever, like, oh, what's in it, a Gallo 24?
Gotcha.
It's just dumb. That's literally the entire fourth movie.
That's it. Great. Okay, we've done.
And then they drive to Mexico.
Done.
Through
Mexico.
Hidden caves.
Okay. All right.
There's actually a Z32 in that movie.
I think I've seen bits and pieces. I've seen bits and pieces of almost all of the movies, but
5 is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Rio de Janeiro, they got the safe.
Oh boy, the safe.
The safe is mostly unrealistic.
Yeah, screw you, physics.
But that movie was not on such a grand. It was unrealistic.
Yeah,
but it wasn't completely blown out of proportion.
Which one was the tank? Which one had a tank in it? Was that the same one?
6.
6. Okay. Right.
6 is where they have a tank and they're driving down the highway and. Okay. But the 5th one they had, it was the safe that they stole.
I've seen that. Yeah.
What? Okay.
No.
You just tell me what you've seen? Cool.
No, I'm just saying it's unrealistic to have a tank.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. But, like, the fifth one, but it was like they're just stealing a bank, or they're stealing a vault from a bank.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
Now it's like they're international, like, spies.
Right, yeah,
and it's like, no one's hiring The Rock. You think Vin Diesel's a spy? There's nothing going on up there. I mean, like, that's, like, so we can cut out anything after
Groot.
5.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
essentially. We can cut out anything past.
Okay.
Which, by the way, for Groot, do you think he has to come in and record more lines?
Oh, I don't know.
They have to have enough.
No, I
just
think...
piece it together.
No, I think they actually do bring him in. No, I really do. I think they have him come in
Such
for
a
all
waste
the different
of, like,
scenes. I am Groot. I am Groot.
Yeah.
I am Groot.
So we'll put down Fast and
Groot.
Furious.
We are Groot. I can't do this. So we can almost even just look over there and see on our wall of things. A lot of different cars. Now, obviously, at some point, we need to talk about Goldfinger,
right,
and the DB5, and almost around the same time, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Don't be dissing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Which I was actually looking up today.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, not a real car.
No, it's not.
It's not. Well, it's not even, like, based off of a real car.
Oh, it's not?
Like, it's not like a Model T with flipped headlights or something. Like, they built a new car. It had, like, what did I read online? It had, like, a Ford V8 in it with, like, a 3-speed automatic.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was essentially like a Ford Falcon.
It really, that to me was a very iconic car growing up, but as well as the funny thing about the connection between Goldfinger and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I think we really should talk about that because that to me is fascinating. Yeah, we can definitely do
an episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely fascinating. And by the way, we have both movies.
Yeah.
We actually have both of those.
I didn't know we had Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah, we do. We do.
What was I going to say? Should we do...
No.
Okay.
Whatever.
That's fair.
Whatever.
I respect that choice.
Whatever you say.
Should we do, like, James Bond movies in, like, chunks? Because how many James Bond movies are there?
There's a ton.
20?
30? More than 20. There's like 26, I want to say. Like 26, something like that.
Yeah. They always have
like
had pretty decent...
ton.
I'd love to talk about the...
And there's a ton of cars in there.
There is tons of cars. I'd love to talk about... Is it Dino? It's one of the Pierce Brosnan movies.
Mm-hmm.
Where he has the extended chassis 7 Series BMW that he's driving off his cell phone.
Yes. That is... I probably... Tomorrow Never Dies.
Because they call it the 750. Was it LI?
Yeah, that's Tomorrow Never Dies.
It's an IL. It says on the back IL.
Yeah.
They never caught it in the movie.
Yeah.
They never caught it. No one on the production team was like, "Hey, by the way, look at the back of the car."
Right. Well,
it says it.
But you're right, and the funny thing is that was a whole big deal where they switched to BMWs for a while, especially during the Brosnan movies. You know,
which I never realized.
Yeah,
paid marketing.
Oh, absolutely.
BMW gave them cash. That's the thing is that I didn't realize till I was a teenager that that's why.
Oh yeah, big deal.
Which I'm wondering, do you think Aston Martin was original in Goldfinger? Or did he just drive it and then it sort of became a thing?
Well, the Aston Martin was actually part of the books. I mean, they talked about the Aston Martins in the books.
What? Because I also heard that he had like Bentleys and Rolls Royces.
Well, yeah, there was that too. But there was an Aston Martin I know in the books. I have to look and see which one it is. I think it might have been Live and Let Die that he talks about driving his Aston Martin. But it was an old Aston Martin.
I was going to say,
I'm not
wasn't
talking about a nice, cool sports car.
I want to say, wasn't it like a DB4?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I have to take a look at that. But the fact of the matter is that it was DB5s for sure for a long time.
Yeah.
And then the guy who was designing the Lotus Esprit, he wanted the James Bond movie company to use his car in a James Bond movie. Okay. So what he did was he took the car because it was really cool looking.
Yeah.
and he would park it in front of the office.
I've heard this story.
Yes.
I think Top Gear covered old Top Gear.
Yes, and he parked it in front of the building where they would go in and out every day so that they would notice it.
Right.
And then they asked about it, and he, they used the Lotus for several movies. They used Lotuses.
Did I get you
Lotus Eye? I don't know what
the Top Gear James Bond special.
Yes,
is that what that's from?
Yeah, it could be.
I need to rewatch that.
That is one. Yeah, that's a great DVD.
Yeah,
it really is a very fun. I enjoyed that very much. So
since we keep getting sidetracked here, I have something else that I prepared today that you actually know nothing about.
Okay. Well, now I'm afraid.
You should be terrified.
Well, okay, great.
So,
all right, good.
Don't look over here.
I'm not looking over.
So I thought we'd play a game.
Okay.
And so I put together 11 of my favorite movie cars.
Okay.
/
Good.
TV cars.
Good.
I mean, you can look at me, just don't look at my list. Here I have. And so we're gonna play a game.
Well, you're across the room. I can't see anything.
So I just saw you look at it twice.
No, and I'm looking at your lamp. I'm looking at the lamp. So it's a transmission thing.
I printed out. It's a sweet lamp, by the way. Sweet gift from my friend.
That is a transmission housing?
It's the tail shaft housing from my FC RX-7 that I had back in the day. It's turned into a lamp, and it's illuminating.
That's pretty cool.
So,
all right.
11 cars, 4 points possible per car. So I'm going to give you the movie.
Boy. Okay.
I'm going to give you the movie. You got to give me year, make, model, and then engine of the car. I don't expect you to get the engine. I'll settle with like V8, inline 4, whatever it is. Because I was actually surprised by a couple of these.
This is going to be really hard because I don't know cars as well as you do.
Well, it starts off with Goldfinger.
Okay.
So, Goldfinger, what was it?
Which one? There were several cars in Goldfinger.
Well, you know the one I'm talking. What other ones are there in that movie?
Well, obviously the DB5.
Right, obviously. Yeah, okay.
But there was the Phantom Rolls Royce that they actually made
out
of gold.
No one cares about that.
Okay, fine.
No one cares about that.
Fine. I think it was a Phantom something Rolls Royce Shadow Blabbity.
Yeah, it's whatever. Okay. I mean, like, yeah.
So no, the DB5.
Okay.
But that was what, a 63? Or
I can't tell you. You got to tell me that. So,
all right,
who makes
60.
it?
Aston Martin.
Okay, I got to hear it from your lips.
All right,
okay.
Aston Martin DB5. I want to say 60. Do I have to give you the year?
Yeah.
So 63, and then you're smiling. You can't keep a secret.
I know I'm terrible at that.
So
are you happy with that answer? Are you sure about that answer?
Final answer. Lock it in. Final answer. No. I'm gonna say 64.
Locking in that answer? No. You have to tell me. You have to tell me. You locking in that in?
No, 65 is what I'm going to say.
No, I'm going to keep laughing. Lock in your answer.
I'm going to say it was a 1963 Aston Martin DB5.
Locked in that answer?
I'm locking in the answer.
Okay,
fine.
it's a 64, so you don't
64.
get that point. You said it, and then I giggled because then you got it the second time. It's fine. So,
all right, my life is worthless.
What
okay.
I know. What engine is in it?
Really, really
I'm
good
curious
question.
to think of what you think is in it, because a couple of these I thought something was in it. Definitely not the case. So
I'm thinking it was an inline 6.
Wow. Okay, you got it.
Really?
4-liter inline 6.
What?
That's a big engine. That's a big straight 6.
Oh, that's true. That is true. 4-liter. That would be pretty big. Yeah, 4-liter.
4-liter straight
each
6.
One's a liter. So each
no, because there's 6.
Oh,
you're not good at math, huh? Thanks for trying, though. That was a good. You said it like you knew it.
If you say it like you believe it, I had the.
No, but a 4-liter straight 6.
Conviction. In
my
voice.
Mean.
Okay, so
that's usually V8 territory.
Right.
Like a 4-liter V8 is like, or like very high 6 cylinders, but
so that's like 14 liters per cylinder.
That's I don't even know where you started with that. So we're gonna go to the next one.
So go to the next one. That's good.
All right, Spy Who Loved Me.
Spy Who Loved Me. That was the Lotus Esprit.
Mm-hmm. It's a Series 1 Esprit.
Is it?
I mean, I'm still giving you the point, but
all right. So Lotus Esprit, and it was has to be like a. That has to be like a 76.
You locking in that?
Fine. I will lock in that answer. Yes. 76.
Okay. You know what? From now on, I'm just gonna take whatever the first year you say. Okay.
You take it. Yes.
Like fair? Is that fair? Is that fair?
It's fair.
Okay.
Take
it is
whatever.
76. So you got it.
It is 76.
76.
Okay, 76.
Now, what engine is in it?
Oh, jeez.
This threw me for a loop.
I actually think there's probably a little 4-cylinder in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
True, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it would have easily been a V6 or V8 because the later ones were twin turbo V8s.
Yeah.
How did they go? It's a 2-liter inline 4. That's smaller than our CX-5 and my Mazda 3 engine.
Wow. That is, yeah, it's a tiny, it's, for some reason though, I thought.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Mid-engine too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well,
it's essentially a big MR2.
And for the underwater scenes, they just built a shell and they had a scuba diver inside the shell.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
I just read an article about this.
Yeah.
And by read an article, I mean watched a YouTube video, so I didn't do any of the legwork required.
That's like when I read a book. It's really audible.
It's audible. Elon Musk bought that car.
Oh, he did?
The underwater car.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then, according to the video, was pissed that it didn't work.
Oh, my gosh. Seriously,
he
you
bought
thought
it
was
for like $100,000 or something, and he's like, it doesn't work.
I wish I could do his accent or whatever. I can't. I don't know
it'd be
who
a
does
slur
it
at this point, but
yeah.
It's South African, his accent, by the way. He's from South Africa. He wasn't born here.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
Yeah, okay, no, but I was trying to think. I don't. Anyway, so it doesn't matter.
You're doing pretty well. You're doing 7 out of 8 points. You
really?
only missed the year of the year of the DB5.
I said the year of the DB5.
You said it, but you didn't know that you said it.
That should count. Now,
next one, Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit. That was a obviously a Trans Am.
Okay. Made by. You know who makes Trans Ams, right?
Pontiac.
Yes. Wow.
You know, but I was thinking Pontiac Firebird.
Oh yeah.
So tell me, what is the difference between a Firebird and a Trans Am? Do you know?
I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I think it's just like.
I think it's just like names and stuff. I'm not sure. Because, like, the only ones I'm sort of familiar with were the last generation that your sister had.
Oh, yeah.
The WS6, I think, is the chassis code for those.
Okay.
I don't really know. Because those were technically Trans Ams, but they're also Firebirds.
Right. Well, the Pontiac Firebird, I know that for sure. Yeah. Pontiac Firebird.
Can we get a year?
Year. 76?
Very close, 77.
Oh,
you've been within 1 year. You've been 1 year low of each of the two cars you've gotten wrong.
77 was the year of my first movie.
Oh, really?
So when I made a movie, my own first movie called Chase 77. So so anyway.
Engine.
Look, trivia. Oh, engine. Oh, that's a beefy V8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6.6 liter
That was
V8.
huge. That was a huge.
So that's.
Yeah.
A lot of the cars on this list have big motors.
Really?
Big motors.
Yeah, okay.
I'm really surprised.
Yeah.
Next up, Back to the Future.
Back to the Future DeLorean.
That's who makes it. Do you know the actual name of the car?
Well, it's an AMC DeLorean, right?
No.
No?
So it's made by DeLorean.
Okay.
What's the model name?
Bobby? I don't know.
Nothing's coming to mind. You were kind of close with your guess. I'm going to mark this as wrong, but
how about Robbie?
Dmc-12.
Oh, I see. Okay, Dmc-12.
Yeah. So DeLorean was the company.
Okay. Yeah.
The car that everyone's like, "Oh, that's a DeLorean."
Yeah.
It's actually what they're looking at is a DeLorean Dmc-12. DeLorean only ever ended up making one car.
Huh.
Because their CEO got arrested for running below across the border.
Yeah. So, what's the deal with Run DMC? Did they name themselves
completely
after the car?
Unrelated.
Okay, okay. I don't know.
I don't think there's a less related Anyway, year for the DeLorean. This was interesting to me because...
Wow, that is a tough one. I'm going to say... Wow, I'm going to say 82.
81.
Oh,
you're real close. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So 81.
Now,
okay.
I'm interested to see if you know this.
Okay.
What engine was in it? You know it's mid-engine, right?
No, I didn't know if it was...
The engine's in the back.
Well, I knew it was in the back, but I didn't know technically if it was a mid-engine or considered
yeah. The only rear-engine cars are 911s and Beetles.
Okay.
I mean, there's no... Because, like, rear-engined is, like, it's behind the rear wheels. Unless you're, like a city bus.
Okay.
But, like,
right.
yeah. So, yeah, but it's mid-engine.
So it's a mid-engine. Wow. That's a really good question. Let me think about that a second. So...
81 DeLorean Dmc-12.
I'm going to say...
Could get them in manual.
It's what?
You could get them in manual.
You could.
Yeah, I don't think Marty McFly was banging gears in that mall parking lot. But
he wasn't.
Also, by the way, a DeLorean getting up to 80 miles an hour in a mall parking lot? Come on.
That is the most unrealistic thing about that entire movie.
That's the one fictional part. The one fictional part of Back to the Future.
It's all true.
The gigawatts.
It is all true. Don't
except
say anything against that.
Except for the fact that a DeLorean was A, a well-made car, and B, could get up to 88 miles an hour. Engine.
I would say a flat 6.
Close.
Close, yeah.
V6.
A V6.
A V6.
Okay. All right.
2.85 liter V6.
Okay.
It's weird that it makes that distinction. I think most people just call it a 2.9. It's a French engine.
Oh.
I think it's made by Persia.
Really?
I think so. I might be mixing that up, but it's a French V6. It's weird. Because small companies like DeLorean, they wouldn't manufacture an engine. That's too much R&D. They just bought one.
True, yeah.
So, that's like our mail trucks here in America. Those are Iron Duke 2.5 liter inline fours.
That's crazy.
Yesterday I was looking out my window and Buddy was stuck in the mail truck outside. Yeah, I mean it's been in the negative degrees here.
Yeah.
So much snow and
a lot of snow.
Dude was stuck and he was just hammering it and I was like, how have we held on to these trucks for 30 years?
Yeah, I don't know.
With dudes just hammering it in the snow for 30 winters.
Well,
That's nuts.
Are they simple? I don't know. I don't want to get off the track here, but that is actually something cool to talk about is the mail truck.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that is actually
Is there a movie we could tie that into?
I don't know.
Whatever.
We could fake it.
All right. Well, Blues Brothers.
I want to that's a 74.
Yep.
I want to say Dodge, but I don't know if I want to say Dodge sedan because I don't think it wasn't a Royal Monaco. It wasn't a Monaco. That was the thing. That was 74.
He's really thinking hard. The gears are turning.
The Dodge. There's smoke coming out.
Well, here's the thing. I'll give you a small pass on this one.
Yeah.
I have Monaco written down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was actually.
I think it was, from what I might remember, and again, this is not that smart. I think it might have been one of those times where Monaco was a trim level before they made it its own car.
Right.
So, because that happens at another point on this list. But, I'm just going off of, what you know it as. So, I'll give you points for Monaco.
Thank you.
Who makes it? Who do you want to settle with?
Well, that's hard because Dodge made the one that we had, technically. But did Chrysler own Dodge? Was it a Chrysler?
In the 70s? Dodge, I think so.
Plymouth? Yeah, so it would have been a... Dodge. I'm going to say Dodge.
I have Dodge written here.
So I think it's a 74 Dodge... And what they say in the movies is a Dodge sedan. They don't really even say what model
I was looking up people who recreate them.
Yeah.
There's a really cool guy on YouTube, Video Bob Mosley, I think is his name.
Okay.
He's out somewhere in the southwest of the country.
Yeah.
And he all he does is he builds replica movie cars for people.
Oh.
And he's like, we built hundreds of these Bluesmobiles.
Wow. Yeah.
And he says that they always start off with the 74 Monaco base. He's like, we can get away with a 75, or we can get away with... Actually, we can't get away with a 73 because 73 was a different body style.
Oh,
so a little fun fact for you. The Monaco and Blues Brothers was a first-year body style for that car.
Yeah, I just remember... Yeah, I remember our car being the Dodge Royal Monaco, which was I'm sure was a trim level. That
Engine
V8, definitely V8.
7.2 liter V8. 7.2
Wow, that's
liters.
huge.
And the only reson I knew that 440.
Yeah.
Cop motor.
That's
cop motor.
That's right.
Got cop motors,
cop
shocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I looked it up and I couldn't find anywhere what engine was in the Bluesmobile.
Yeah.
Except I found a forum post and it was like the police versions had the 440 cubic inch.
Yeah,
7.2
liter. That is wow. That's like
the biggest motor I've ever driven was a 7.5. No, I take that back. I drove an 8 liter one time. That Viper, the V10
right.
Viper was an 8 liter.
Yeah.
Ugh.
8 liter was that? Oh, that you said is a V10.
Yeah.
You think about that, almost 1 liter per cylinder, almost. I mean, that is.
Yeah. The math was correct that time.
I was going to say 42 liters per cylinder. No, I mean, it really is something that, you don't think about that.
Yeah.
But that is a huge.
It's big.
That's a huge amount.
Like the 7.5 liter Lincoln Continental I drove. I mean, that's almost a liter per cylinder.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Nuts, yeah.
Up next, the movie that ruined my childhood.
Oh, Christine.
Yeah, Christine.
See?
I'm glad you knew that right away.
I knew, because that was one of the movies I was going to talk about, where the car actually is truly
that's
like
a main character. We'll definitely go through that movie.
Okay. That's a very interesting movie in a lot of ways, obviously. But let's see. Okay, that's a good question, because I know the car, but I don't know what it is. So I would say, I want to say Cadillac.
No.
No?
Really?
Not even? Yeah. So Imperial.
What are you smoking? What?
I don't know.
Okay, so you didn't get that one. You don't even know.
Because it's a Honda, isn't it? It's a Honda.
It's a Civic Type R. No, it's a Plymouth.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So you should know the rest now.
So it's a Plymouth.
So I'm not giving you that point.
All right, that's fine. Don't give me that point. It's a Plymouth Galaxy? No.
Sorry, no one saw. I just gave him this look like... What? I just did like a Jim from The Office look at him like...
No, it's a Plymouth... gosh darn it, why isn't it coming to my head? It's a...
I'm pretty sure you've said it in the last 20 minutes.
Chrysler Cordoba.
What? What is... I've never even heard of that.
A Cordoba?
Like Qdoba, like the burrito place?
No, not Qdoba. Cordoba.
No.
Cordoba. You got to look that up, a Cordoba.
Okay.
Because, what's the actor? There's an actor who's very famous for talking about rich Corinthian leather. Anyway, it's not going to come to my head right now because we're talking about it.
Yeah, well, so I'm not giving you... It's a Plymouth Fury.
Plymouth Fury.
You owned one. We literally talked about it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Can you redeem yourself on this one with any year or engine? Engine, I feel like you should be able to get.
Engine V8.
Yeah.
And then the year, I would say, would be a 63.
No, 58.
58. Oh, my
58.
gosh. I totally
You didn't get a
blew that
single
car.
thing about that car.
I said it was a Honda Civic.
Yeah.
With...
You thought it was a Cadillac, which, like...
Well, okay, yeah.
I get the big fins. It had, like, the big tail fins and stuff and like that.
Yeah, same company, though, right?
No. Plymouth was Chrysler. Cadillac is GM.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry.
So, not even right with that.
Okay.
I mean, like, nothing correct. Like, not a single piece of factual evidence.
I am not even, like, remotely close on that one.
All right.
Okay.
Next up, little oddball you're not going to expect.
Herbie?
No.
Oh, that's a good movie for us to watch.
That is a good movie, and it's later on the list, but that's not the one we're on right now.
All right, okay. All right, this one is an oddball.
Write it down. And not the Lindsay Lohan one.
Yeah.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. That was the AMC Pacer.
Okay, AMC Pacer. Correct.
Yeah, that was
year and engine. I was shocked by this engine, by the way. What?
What do you think they called that in Smokey and the Bandit? Well, Smokey and the Bandit era on the CB. What did they call an AMC Pacer?
Something to make fun of it exploding.
No, it was called a pregnant roller skate. Yes, I am not kidding you.
I guess it looks funky.
We actually, around the time of Smokey and the Bandit, we actually had a CB dictionary that told you, it was a book, because back in the day, you had books to tell you these things.
Well, were Kindles too big or something? Why'd you waste all that paper?
No Kindles. No. We had to read our books by candlelight.
We're not much. We're podcasting by makeshift lamps, so I don't know how much we've progressed in 50 years.
So, AMC Pacer, I would say that had a 4-liter. Did it have a
4-liter?
I'm sorry, 4-cylinder, 4-liter, not a 4.
Jeez.
It was a monster Pacer.
You know, you say that.
Yeah.
Incorrect. It's an inline 6.
Really?
Or there was a V8 offered.
Wow.
But the inline 6
for a Pacer, AMC Pacer.
Yeah. You know what? You were actually more correct.
Yeah.
The inline 6. I couldn't find which one was specifically in the Wayne's World one.
Yeah.
It was either a 3.8 liter. Or a 4.2 liter inline 6.
Oh.
Big engines.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive actually. That's pretty cool.
So
I would love to drive one though.
Did you say Pacer. The year?
No, let me say the year. Let me say 78.
Ooh, 76.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, you're close with these.
That's close. All right.
I'll give you 2 for the AMC Pacer.
All right.
Got to have the licorice dispenser.
Licorice dispenser.
Yeah, the
right.
licorice dispenser.
Yeah.
The one of the screen used cars came up for sale recently.
Yeah.
I was doing all this. I saw some like postings.
Yeah.
And it still had a licorice dispenser and like a working licorice dispenser.
Wow.
But it did not have the factory head unit. So someone had replaced it with like a modern CD player or something.
Okay.
So they're like, you gotta find an 8-track player to put in it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Next up, Ghostbusters.
That was I want to say 59 Cadillac.
Correct so far. I don't think you're gonna get the body out, like the model, but try.
Yeah, that's a good. It's not like the Town and Country, is it?
No.
No.
That was also Chrysler.
Yeah.
Opposite of Cadillac.
All right. Okay.
Opposite
so
manufacturer.
So I would say that it would be the.
That sounded right. That noise. Build off that momentum.
Luxury liner.
No.
Okay. So there's nothing like that, but
Miller Meteor. So Miller Meteor, back when this existed, was a coach builder.
Oh.
So you'd bring them a Cadillac Fleetwood.
And
you'd say, "Hey, I want this to be a hearse or ambulance."
Right.
And they did the coach work.
Gotcha.
To make it into that. So Cadillac didn't specifically sell an ambulance.
Oh.
It was a company that did it.
Interesting.
So it was a the front 3/4 of it was a Cadillac Fleetwood.
Yeah.
They just added the back to it.
Yeah, and you can't find those cars anymore.
No.
I mean, that's like way too. I mean, everybody built those.
Yeah.
Engine, gosh, V8. Probably had 2 batteries in it, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, ambulances, because I almost bought an ambulance.
Yeah.
The ambulance I almost bought had 2 batteries.
Oh, that's like a modern one, though, right?
No, it was about this. It was a little bit. It was probably a couple years later than that car.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But it had 2 and a rheostat, which was a thing. It was basically a switch that would allow you to switch from one battery to the other. Because if you were somewhere, it was an emergency, you would have to switch to the other battery to start the car.
Yeah. A lot of modern buses have that.
Oh, yeah?
Modern ambulances have that.
Okay.
Does Nick's Durango have that?
Oh, I don't know.
No, he had a bigger alternator.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
a lot of vehicles actually have dual batteries. A lot of diesels.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that. But I know the ambulance did, and that's I'm sure. So I
misspelled it here. I put Cone in 60 seconds, but Gone in 60 seconds. The Nick Cage one, not the original one. There's an
original one?
Gone in 60 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one from the 70s.
But not Nick Cage? Well, obviously not
yeah,
Nick
he was
Cage.
an infant then.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
No, he was probably the same age.
So...
It's the Nick Cage one with the...
Ford Mustang?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. It's a Shelby Mustang.
Oh, Shelby Mustang. Of course, it's a Shelby Mustang. Doesn't it have like a famous name or something?
Yeah,
it's like,
which
like Lady Rose or something. I don't know.
I would love to dive into.
Yeah?
I'll dive deep into that movie.
Okay.
Okay, so the cars...
I've never seen that, so that's going to be one I'm going to have to watch.
I've never seen it either.
Really?
Right, but... So, the car's called Eleanor.
Eleanor, that's it!
I'm scared to even say the name Eleanor.
Why?
So, the guy who... So, interestingly enough, we were talking about, like, the cars being characters in movies, right?
Right, yeah.
Eleanor was actually... The Gone in 60 Seconds Mustang was actually a licensed character in the movie.
Oh.
So... There was a...
Oh.
Have I told you this?
No, but you're talking about licensed characters, and that's... Okay.
So there's a guy who had the licensing.
Ground. Yeah.
He died.
Oh.
So his wife now carries the licensing for... Or like the rights to the name, Eleanor. Okay. Like the car, the Mustang.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Because it's a licensed character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she... If you're out here, I hope you rot in wherever you are...
Wow.
She literally just makes a living off of going after people for breaching. So, like, if you have a Mustang and you call it Eleanor, she can seize it. And it happened to a very famous YouTuber. His YouTube name is B is for Build, and he builds cars. And he built it was an 07 Mustang, cut the body off, and put a whatever year you haven't said yet, Mustang body. What's up?
No, I was gonna say that doesn't sound right. She shouldn't be able to do that. So, that's not America.
This is crazy.
That's not the America I live in.
Yeah. Okay. This is a true story. You're not going to believe it, but I promise you it is.
Okay, I don't.
So this guy, thanks.
Okay.
So this guy took an 07 Mustang or whatever it was, GT, whatever. Cut the body off, put it's a 67 Mustang GT500 body onto it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And was going to paint it up the same way, and he was calling it his Eleanor build.
Yeah.
He gets a letter from some lawyers.
Yeah?
Cease and desist.
Okay.
They took the car.
How is that even possible? I mean, I understand it, and I'm sure
it happened because literally he made a video, and he's like, the car's gone. They took the car. You cannot sell a body kit that says Eleanor without her approval. And, like, if you call a replica Eleanor or, like, even build a replica, she comes after you. Like, she is, like, Satan to these people. Like, she, like, hunts them down. And she has a bunch of money, and she just goes after people.
So can we build one and call it the Elton John? Wouldn't that be good? It would be awesome.
Puts a little bit extra flake in the paint.
That would be lovely.
I mean, like, so, like, I would love to do that movie and just dive into all that stuff because there's, like, stories and stories. Like, I don't know what line you cross, but it's like there's a certain point where she's like, that's mine. That's infringement.
That's insane.
It's insane.
They allow her to do that. We need to reboot our entire justice system because of her. I'm not going too far there. I'm not.
We've gone to a bunch of museums and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
How often do you see an Eleanor? I think Volo has one, but like she has allowed a couple replicas. She has allowed it.
Wow.
But and there's like obviously screen used ones and stuff, but like you never go to a car show and see one that looks like it. Never.
What a warped, frustrated old woman.
Yeah.
To name.
So when we do that episode,
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah. We'll dive into that.
Yeah.
We'll dive in. I will print out like court cases and stuff.
Okay.
Before we get into it, I think it's super interesting.
It is interesting, but it's also frustrating at the same time because my
super
God,
frustrating because like I mean, you know, me and you, we wrench out in the garage and whatever. Like, if we just happen to stumble upon a '67 Mustang and we're like, oh, it's a Gone in 60 Seconds car, like something that we're just fiddling with in the driveway could become someone else's property just through like fandom.
Knowing you and me, we would find one in a garage in Indiana, like we did the RX-7.
Yeah.
We would find one, and we would actually be looking at it, and she would stand.
Yeah,
she would pull up. She would pull up and say, "You can't."
We would find one. We'd pull it out.
Right.
A guy with disgusting toenails. I don't know where that guy is, but we looked at this black 1980 SA limited RX-7.
Yeah.
Dude had a do-rag on and the longest...
He had two of them, though, right? Two cars? Didn't he have two
Yeah,
RX-7s?
he had like a maroon one or something, and then he had... that
was pretty cool.
It was a black... But remember, he couldn't get it started? And I was like, ugh. And it smelled like every RX-7 smells when they sit.
Yep. There's a definite smell to a sitting RX-7.
But
it's weird.
No, we would find an Eleanor Mustang. We would pull it out of the driveway, and just a red dot would just appear on her chest. And I would just say, like, tell Bella I love her, and then I would just be executed on the spot. Like, that's what would happen. Like, that's what it sounds like would happen.
It does sound like that would happen, and that's just not right.
Oh, no, it's not right at all.
But nothing right about that.
So we'll end that there, but I'd love to dive into that when we watch Gone in 60 Seconds. That'll probably be, hey, Nick Cage is a actor. Let's talk about these court cases.
Right. So... But that is kind of the same idea as Bullet. I mean, as far as like the watching Bullet and watching that whole movie, because there is something to the fact of how much people have really glommed on to the car aspect of that. So many people talk about Bullet.
Well, what's interesting, though, is that I feel like Bullet is the other side of the coin than Eleanor.
Yeah.
Because right now, tonight, well, it's not open tonight, but tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., we can walk into a Ford dealership.
Yeah.
Packy Webb, shout out. Been filming with them. Have some F-150 reviews coming out for them. They've been awesome.
Ching, ching.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, it's like the cash register.
Thank you very much. We could walk into a Ford dealership right now.
Right.
And go buy a Bullet Mustang.
Really?
It says Bullet across the back. It's painted in the same green that the 60s Mustang from the movie Bullet was painted in.
That's awesome.
Comes in black wheels like the one in the movie.
That's awesome.
But it's a modern one.
Yeah. God bless America.
Yeah, I mean,
you could do that.
So, like, that's the thing is that, like, Eleanor is, like, this closed off, like, no one can have it. And then Ford's like, yeah, we'll slap a Bullet badge on the back and charge $5,000 extra.
Right.
Yeah, we'll give it, it has, like, red stitch seats. Yeah. And I think they only come in manual. I can't confirm that.
All right.
But literally, we could walk in tomorrow and go buy a Bullet Mustang in the same paint color.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's cool.
They milked the crap out of it. And why not?
Exactly. Not? I totally agree with that.
Cadillac should come out with a Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Cadillac should embrace... I mean, like, I think car companies should really embrace their movie past.
Oh, yeah.
Aston Martin does. Aston Martin leans into it pretty hard.
Yes, they do. And they should.
And they should.
Why not? Yeah.
We have two more on here.
Two more.
Engine for the Mustang?
Engine for the Mustang. Oh, jeez. I'm going to say V8, but I almost said V6.
This was a GT500 used in the movie, Eleanor. 7-liter V8, which I feel like is big for a Mustang. Yeah, you remember Alex brought over that blue Mustang? Same body style.
That was a beautiful car.
Awesome car.
That really is a beautiful car.
But that had a 5.2 V8 in it. We're talking about this is 7-liter. That's not even the Cobra Jet. The Cobra Jet motor was like a 7.2.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty all right.
So two more. Dukes of Hazzard. Not a movie, although it was a movie adaptation.
Yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Dodge Charger. Year 75? 78.
69.
69. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the 68 was a slightly different. I always thought it was a 68, but it's actually a 69 Charger. But they used like 77 to like 74.
They did. They used a lot of different
Which
cars.
I think I told you, the guy who played Bo in Dukes of Hazzard has a YouTube channel.
Oh.
And all he does is critique General Lee builds.
Really?
He has his own General Lee, which is great, I think.
I'm sure, yeah.
But he made a whole video, and it was like, you could tell it's this year because it has this side marker, and it has chrome here, but in the movie it never had chrome.
Okay.
The General Lee never had a black interior. A lot of people mess that up. That's sort of like the, not Mandalorian effect. Mandela effect.
That would be a... that would be a small Yoda or something.
Yeah, Baby Yoda effect. No, they never
Howie
had.
Mandel? Wait, what?
The
Howie Mandel effect?
Yeah, the wash your hands every 5 minutes effect. When they got it from the junkyard, when it was black.
Yeah.
In the very first episode of Dukes of Hazzard, it had a black interior.
So it did have a black interior once.
But as soon, sorry, I tapped the mic.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you hear that?
No, but
okay,
you'll hear my popping.
Sure.
I should have my filter on. I don't have my filter
on. As soon as they painted it orange, it got a tan interior.
Tan?
Yeah, it's like a tan leather, yeah.
Is it a dark tan? Because I think it's black. You're right. It is one of those things where I think back to that and I go, oh, no, that's a black interior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember very vividly in junior high, there was a kid who actually would record on a tape recorder, cassette tape recorder. Yeah. He would record the show and play it back. Yeah.
Bootlegging in what, the 40s? What was that? When were you in high school? Engine.
V8.
Yeah. I couldn't find specifically which V8 it was, but they had between a 5.2, 6.3, 7-liter, or 7.3 liter.
7.3.
Hemi's got big.
Yeah,
Hemi's got real big.
That's pretty amazing.
Last one.
Okay.
Herbie the Love Bug.
Herbie the Love Bug. I want to say 63.
Correct.
VW Bug, yeah. I love that car. I just absolutely... That was probably one of my first loves of cars, movie cars.
Yeah.
Because it was so... It's funny because it was so iconic and yet it was so ubiquitous. It was everywhere. Everyone had... everyone had, they call it the Love Bug, but everybody had a VW. My parents had one. In fact... I know
this story, yeah.
You know this. Okay.
Well, tell the listeners. Tell the one
I guess
listener that has stayed this long.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
Tell all 5 listeners that have somehow.
All right. Yeah.
Weeded their way through this horrible mess of a podcast.
So my parents had this car, this VW, and I guess I was sitting on my mom's lap in the front seat without a seatbelt, of course. And someone ran a light, and we got in an accident, and my head went through the front windshield of the car. And I guess, according to my mom, she said you didn't even cry, which is... I don't know what that says about me.
That's the moment you knew life was just going to be hard for a real long time.
I think that's
your head went through the windshield, and you're like, I got to get used to this.
I'm like, man, whatever.
Do you know what engine is
Bring
in
it? Oh, that's
They had
a
bunch of
question.
different ones, but specifically for 63.
Jeez,
it's going to be the same layout, though, so...
So is that going to be a flat 4 or something like that?
Yes, flat 4.
Okay. That's...
1.2 liter.
1.2.
Which is smaller than even my RX-7
I was
going
to say, that's kind of a mini bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mini.
I can't do math. Jeez.
No, it's all right. No,
I'm gonna tally up your score.
All right.
So,
well, okay, that's...
But no, my goal is to review a Bug. Because I've done a Carmen Ghia and I've done a bus. Both from the 70s, both in orange, both manual. Mm-hmm. And I love driving them so much.
I really am a big fan. I would get a VW Bug. I would definitely get George, my brother George, had one, and it was awesome. We would listen to his his Van Halen cassette tapes in the cassette player, and he would fly around in that car. I just absolutely love that car. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I can't.
31 out of 44, by the way.
31 out of 40.
31 out of 44. So let's see what that is percentage-wise.
Yeah, it's like 70.
That's a 70%. That's a C. That's a passing grade. For no preparation? That's not bad.
It's a lot of guesses. I mean, but yeah. So no, that was a lot of fun. I appreciate that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's, I had forgotten about, the VW Bug as being a big car, and
I imagine it drives similar to the Karmann Ghia that I drove. But
it
it's
probably
just like,
does. It probably does.
The Karmann Ghia I drove, the odometer said 15,000 miles.
Yeah.
It had rolled over twice.
Oh boy.
So it was a 200,000 mile Karmann Ghia, and the shifting, felt great. Like, even in the bus, like, it was very easy to drive. Super light clutch. Super light gas pedal.
So, the story goes about, the VW Bug being the everyman's car. It really came from Germany. The whole thing, was the Volkswagen. It would be the Volkswagen. All right, so let's not...
let's not talk about the creator,
yeah, exactly.
It was supposed to be it was designed by the German government.
Right. Yes.
Because
they had person's car,
their goal with the car
was to rule the world,
essentially. But their goal was to have a car that anyone could buy, that could travel on the Autobahn.
Oh,
so it was specifically made to go 55 miles an hour on the Autobahn.
Yeah,
and I forget where I heard this, but the German government was building these vacation apartments, essentially.
Really?
Yeah, on one of the the only coast in Germany. It would be the West Coast. Or some area they were building these vacation homes or whatever. This nice area.
Yeah.
They were trying to make it like a tourist destination.
Okay.
So they wanted people to be able to buy Volkswagens, which literally translates to the people's car. Volk means people.
Yeah.
And Wagens means car.
Yeah.
And they wanted them to be able to travel on the Autobahn at 55 miles an hour steadily to take them to be able to travel.
Okay.
So that was the original idea behind the Beetle.
But didn't Porsche design it, or what was the connection with Porsche?
I think it was actually designed by Ferdinand Porsche.
Okay.
I don't recall, so don't quote me on that. But Volkswagen and Porsche have always been together. I don't know if if Volkswagen has always owned Porsche. They do now.
Okay. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Volkswagen owns a lot. Really? Volkswagen owns...
They own a lot of cars in the desert sitting in the middle of...
Dieselgate. I mean, they're all crushed by now, but... So Volkswagen owns Porsche.
Okay.
Audi.
Do they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't know that, yeah.
Lamborghini.
Wow, yeah.
Ducati.
Okay.
The motorcycles.
And the cars?
Ducati?
Yes.
No, you're thinking of Bugatti.
Oh,
they also own... Hey, you know what, though? They also own Bugatti. So you're not wrong that Volkswagen owns them, but Bugatti
is...
Bugatti and Ducati they both own.
Okay.
And then they also have some European brands like Skoda and stuff like that, which I saw a bunch of Skodas when I went to Slovakia.
Oh.
Which, Skoda is I think it's a lesser brand of Volkswagen.
It's a delicious pastry.
It sounds like it's some imported chocolate. But I remember when I was in Slovakia, we were with a couple of our guides, and I was like, oh my God, that's a Skoda right there. And they're like, who cares? Yeah. I'm like, we don't get these in America. This is so cool. And then later that night, I rode in a Citroen.
Yeah.
It was a Citroen... it was like a D2 or something.
So that would be like them coming over here and going, oh, that's a G6.
Yeah, it's a Pontiac.
It's a Pontiac G6.
I don't think they got Pontiacs in Europe.
I don't think so, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't...
Exactly.
I don't know. You don't see them in the movies. You don't see them in...
Yeah. Which I was putting together this list today during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of companies on here that don't exist anymore. A lot of car manufacturers.
Well, right. So Plymouth doesn't exist, correct? Technically,
Plymouth doesn't exist anymore. It went out 01, I want to say.
Okay,
which is fairly recent for a car company.
It is.
But let's see here. Aston Martin's still in business. Lotus just announced the final edition of the Lotus Elise.
Okay,
and I was like, I didn't know they kept making them past 2008.
Really?
Yeah, and they're like, it's our final Lotus Elise, and I was like, didn't that happen 12 years ago?
Wasn't that the one that the first
Tesla Roadster? It was based off of.
Yes.
Yeah. So Pontiac gone. DeLorean, gone. Wow.
Right.
It's gone. Some guy like restarted it.
Yes.
Blah, blah,
I
blah.
saw
But
that, yeah.
it's gone.
Okay.
Plymouth, gone. AMC, gone.
Yeah.
I think that's it. But I feel like that was like a fair amount for only 11 cars.
Yeah, that's...
What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4? 4 out of 11?
Yeah, that's a lot of cars gone. You're absolutely
AMC was made in Wisconsin.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. AMC was absorbed by Chrysler.
Oh.
The engine of our Pacifica, the 3.5-liter V6, was manufactured in Wisconsin in an old AMC plant, which has since been demolished. But
wow.
The engine in the Pacifica was made in an old AMC plant up in I want to say Racine, Wisconsin. It's like right over the border.
Well, Racine is right over the border. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
AMC got absorbed by Chrysler because AMC used to make Jeeps.
Oh, yeah.
Jeeps were AMCs for a long time up until the 90s.
Yeah.
And then, there was a while that they stuck with the AMC 4-liter straight six.
Yeah.
Up until the 2002 Cherokee. Still had an AMC designed straight six. Bulletproof engine.
Yeah?
I mean, bulletproof engine. And then the Cherokee switched to now Chrysler garbage, and it's been all downhill since then.
I don't know. I still want to go back to the days of the simple engines, but I know you can't do that with technology and blah, blah, blah.
Well, you can do it. You can't do it with emissions.
Right.
There's
Exactly.
no way.
That is what...
Could put 1 million catalytic converters on one of those engines, and it's just...
No, it is very true.
The amount of technology that goes into the new engines is just insane. I mean, you know this our CX-5 can go down to just 2 cylinders?
What?
It has cylinder deactivation when you're cruising on the highway. I think...
But you can't set that. I mean,
you can't set it. But when the vehicle's cruising, it can sense it, and it would shut off 2 cylinders. I don't know if it does it anymore.
Okay.
Because remember when we got that recall?
Yes.
It was because the cylinder deactivation would not come on at the right time.
Oh.
And the engine would just kind of self-destruct itself because it would come back online and then just smack the valves and bend everything.
That would be really, really bad.
So I don't know if it still does it, but I was driving a new Camaro last year.
Yeah.
2020. Mm-hmm. And the V8 could go down to a 4-cylinder. When you're just cruising on the highway, it only used 4 cylinders.
Wow.
Pretty interesting.
And that's the funny thing is, you talk about that nonchalantly, but how many cars have you driven in the last year, do you think?
In the last year, probably like 130 or something.
Yeah.
Well, because I just did it was my 500th review yesterday. I filmed.
Yep.
I don't know if that's out yet by the time this comes out, but probably will be. But
but that's a ton of cars. That's a lot of cars.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's really funny to think about that you've driven that many.
500 cars.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I just remember when you were first learning how to drive,
and
I literally just gave you the keys and said, you're driving.
Yeah, you never cared.
I never cared.
There's a video somewhere. I think you know the video I'm talking about, no? We're driving by the Speedway gas station.
Yeah.
And you're filming it. We're in the truck.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing this terrible orange... You guys didn't dress me well. You guys never bought me good clothes. Well, I guess it was period correct of graphic tees were cool in the 2000s.
I am a horrible, hideous father. I just want to let you know that. I'm a horrible, hideous father.
And I think I had my braces. My blue braces.
Oh, you probably
still.
do. Yeah, you
and
probably did.
I was driving the truck and I was like, day 4 of driving. I'm already a defensive driver.
Yeah.
That's all I said. It's like a quick video. That's all I said. I think I had my permit at that point, so I was probably 15. So this is
that is true.
Late 2012.
I literally remember getting into the truck, handing you the keys, and then flipping on my phone and going through my phone and
Which back in the day, what were you playing? It was
I wasn't playing
Prince
anything.
of Persia on your BlackBerry.
Prince of Persia.
You remember
it was
that
a
game?
BlackBerry. Oh gosh, yeah, I remember
the little
game.
Prince of Persia game on your BlackBerry phone. I know you had the computer thing or whatever, and you had Doom and whatever, but
yeah, but I remember. I remember Prince of Persia. Yeah, that was a huge game. That was one of the first, it was amazing. It was an 8-bit game, but it was the most amazing.
I remember playing Doom on a computer in that room back there.
Yes. And
with the lights off.
Yes. And Doom was a great game to play in the dark, especially if you had like headphones on or something like that. That was a great game. And then you switch to now. Okay, fast forward to now, and I come downstairs and like you and Nick are playing a car game, but it looks like a movie. Like the graphics are so good.
Which it's funny because I don't think Nick and I have played Xbox down here.
Really?
Well, I don't think we've done that in like 10 years.
I know.
So the game that you're saying, looks so realistic, is like probably like Forza Motorsport 4, which is when they introduced the first gen RX-7.
Maybe it was.
Which is still the background of your phone, or did you change it?
No, it's still the background of my phone.
The background of your phone was a screenshot I took in Forza Motorsport 4 of a red RX-7.
Really?
I took that screenshot before I ever owned an RX-7.
Did you really?
So that wallpaper has outlived at least 2 of my cars.
Wow. Yeah, I never changed that wallpaper.
I change my wallpaper like every few months.
I don't.
Yeah, obviously.
So, I mean, I have the RX-7, because the red RX-7 is always going to have a place in my heart, no matter what. And then the other screenshot, the other background is the Model A.
Yeah.
So, I have those too. But, yeah.
Recently, I've actually stuck with my backgrounds. My main background is a picture that I took. That's going up a mountain in Pennsylvania, and that's
cool.
the rear view or the side mirror of my Mazda 3.
Yeah.
And you can just see another mountain in the background. That's unedited, like the red leaves in the background.
Oh, that's very cool.
And then when you open my phone, that's a road in Missouri. I took a picture, super curvy.
Yeah.
And I kept driving my car up and down while I was waiting for a review.
I am so glad that everyone can see it.
I know, that's terrible.
We're showing each other pictures.
That's terrible radio, but
yeah. But it is really, I remember when I took my car, I took my red RX-7 to California, and I'll never, ever forget, I'm driving down this road in the middle of the desert, and I pull up behind a tanker truck.
Oh, I have this picture.
You do?
Yeah.
You have one of the reflections?
Yeah. I tried to recreate it, but then I was like, hey, man, this is so dangerous.
Yeah, super dangerous.
This is so stupid.
Super dangerous.
And for me, I pull out my phone.
Right.
Just kidding. I don't pull out my phone while driving because that's illegal in the state of Pennsylvania.
No.
But I just tap a button. You're like working with film here.
So I was working with film. Not only was I working with film, I have to tell you, I changed the lens.
Oh, my God.
So I'm driving the stick shift car. I hate
doing that normally, like without a stick
shift car. I'm in the car by myself. I have no one to help me. I reach over into my camera bag. I grab my camera. I switch out the lenses.
Yeah.
I put on the new lens. I make sure there's no dust or anything in it, and I take the picture. Only one picture. I only took one picture. That was it, and it was like. The reason I was so enamored by the fact that it was like a giant mirror driving down this road in front of me. It was like a giant mirror. And it was so cool. And I thought, I got to get a picture of this. So here I am, grabbing the camera by myself in the car, switching out the lenses, taking the picture. I was an idiot. I was a complete idiot.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've done worse. Here's the thing is that, like, some things on cars only work when the car's in motion. And I mention them in videos, so I have to record them somehow. Normally, I have it on a tripod. Yeah. I do have it, but there's the occasional time where it's like...
Well, I remember driving down the side of a mountain in neutral in the RX-7 because it was manual, and I was doing about 70 miles an hour down the side of a mountain.
Jam it back into third gear and go...
playing my cassette player, it was like the coolest feeling in the world. And like I say, that car was only about 9 years old when I had it, so very, very different time. That was a very different. The whole thing was.
I need to get my car going. I'm itching for something fun to drive.
Yeah, well,
as fun as the Model A is.
You will. Yeah, it is.
But it's different.
It is completely different.
Because the Model A you take out, and it's like a whole process.
It is.
But the RX-7's modern enough. I remember I used to take the red car out to this really good driving road, and I would just hit it up and down, up and
Yeah.
down, up and down. Just beat the snot out of the car all night. And it's like a fully functioning car.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get back to that place with the blue car because...
I remember my RX-7. It was not fast, but it was peppy. It was like quick, and it was enough that you could zip around and have fun and jam through the gears and stuff and really, have a good time with
I'm really hoping Jake is considering selling that yellow SA that I reviewed.
Oh yeah,
that yellow one. It was
I
pretty.
remember the yellow
it was
one.
under 100,000 miles.
That's a nice one.
Clean. It was so clean. That's my dream color for an SA.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car.
See.
Yeah,
Because he said he was probably going to look to sell it, but I don't know with all this COVID stuff, and of course people change their mind, and he might hold on to it. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Hard to say.
Plus, I mean, they're going for pretty pennies these days. I think he picked it up for like $4.
Oh.
So I'm sure he'd want 5 or 6 out of it. Actually, speaking of which, hopefully I might film a video with a super low mileage RX-7 coming up here soon. But
that would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
I won't say too much on air, but yeah, I'm excited about that. So
that's good.
What do we want to jot down any more movies before we leave here?
We're at an hour 35.
Oh wow! Okay. Yeah.
So I'm trying to think here. I mean, it's
what
almost
about RV. Robin Williams. Does that count?
We
It'd
could.
be sad to watch because it's like a
good.
happy-go-family movie, and then it's Robin Williams
Yeah, it's Robin
now.
Williams. I know, that's really sad. Yeah, I mean, RV is technically a movie.
It is a movie.
It's
shot on Fruit by the Foot, but it's a movie.
It's technically a movie.
How much length do I got here on my
you got plenty.
Okay,
you
wow,
can
I
go
can
over there.
walk
Yeah,
over
you
it.
can walk over. Okay, so
my eyes are going. I can't read
oh
it.
boy, you're like how old are
I'm
you?
15.
24? You're what? 24 this year, right?
Yeah, I'll be 24 in 6 months.
That's crazy.
Not Evan Almighty,
and I'm
Bruce
26.
Almighty.
What?
Yeah, you are 20. Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty, but there's no cars in that.
There's one car.
Is there?
Very cool car for no reason.
Okay.
Well, kind of a reason. It's what's Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Remember he becomes God?
Yes.
He gives himself a Celine S7.
Oh, okay.
And he does that. I remember we used to do this as a kid. He viewers can't see this, but he flips his finger and the traffic splits like Moses splitting the seas. That was the coolest thing.
All right, so go through the movies and
Are these
see.
alphabetized? No, they're not alphabetized.
Well, I had them.
They were alphabetized.
They were alphabetized.
Yeah, whatever.
You have to remember, I used to work at a library, so.
Oh yeah, and you worked at a video store, didn't you?
I worked at 2 video stores. I was the manager of one.
Yeah, you started Blockbuster and and Family
and
Video.
And I said, this isn't going anywhere.
And that's why we're so loaded.
Right. Yeah.
Airplane.
That
doesn't count.
No.
There's that taxi in the beginning that he leaves the meter
Yeah,
on.
that's true. That's pretty.
Back to the Future, we already wrote down.
Yeah.
Batman.
Well, the Batmobiles. There's many different Batmobiles.
I'm gonna expose a little cheat here. I looked up top 40 movie cars.
Oh, okay, good.
Just for the list, so I could remember them all.
Yeah.
The Batmobile was on there, the new one, the tumbler tank looking one, and I'm like, I don't really care about that one.
Really, of the only the Tumbler and the 66 version are the only 2 that I like. The only 2. That's
I don't think of what other ones there even are.
Well, there's the one that has the giant fin. Remember that from Batman in the early 80s or the 80 whatever?
Not really.
You don't remember that.
Yeah.
You weren't even born.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember before I was born.
Yeah. So what else we got? What other movies we got over there?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner has... There's some cool floating cars. Flying cars.
If we get desperate, we'll
okay.
write that one down.
All right, fine.
Blues Brothers we already wrote down. Bolt is a dog movie.
They actually have an RV in that, and they do travel in
Bucket
home.
List with Morgan Freeman and
Bucket
Jack
List.
Nicholson?
Is there any... I've never seen Bucket List. We actually have that for...
You've heard Bucket List.
I've heard Bucket
probably
List.
a million times when we came back from South Dakota.
Yes.
I think we bought this in South Dakota.
We probably did. And
Cars. I think we should definitely do...
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't get more basic than that. I'm scared that there's a spider in this bookshelf. There probably is.
It's fine.
I mean, there's so many spiders down here.
Yeah, down here, there's a ton of spiders.
We're in our basement, by
and
the
they're
way.
about the size of a Buick.
Cheaper by the dozen.
Cheaper.
That's a real low point for Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Great childhood movie. I love that movie just for the nostalgia sake.
Yeah, that was a fun
But it's
movie.
like, come on, man, what are you doing? You were the Three Amigos.
No, I know,
yeah.
No.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, of course. It's
Chitty
on the
Chitty
list.
Bang Bang, that's on the, yeah.
Deadpool doesn't really...
No, there's no... That's funny. There's no real vehicles in Deadpool.
I don't... This still has the seal on it.
Oh, boy. What is it?
Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, my gosh!
Have we even seen this?
I've never seen that.
By
I don't
the way,
even know where that
viewers,
is.
We're looking at DVDs right now, by the way. So, like...
Yes.
That's how with it we are.
Well,
I think we got it... I think it was one of those Walmart things on a road trip, and then we just never watched it.
That is probably true, but, there is something to be said to having a DVD library.
Yeah. Ghostbusters always on. Okay. Finding Nemo, I think we can skip.
I don't think, yeah.
You know what? We might want to do a dedication to Austin Powers.
We could. There's been some fun cars.
The Time Machine Cadillac that they have.
Yes. They had the Time Machine. They had the Jaguar. They had the
Mini Cooper.
The Mini Cooper. They had the weird, Goldie something, whatever, Goldie Wang car or whatever. Remember they had the little tiny car that the three of them drove in? Yeah. There's been some fun cars in there.
Ooh, Hot Rod. Where does Hot Rod fall? That's a motorcycle movie.
That's
Stuntman.
more motorcycle,
yeah. And I don't know anything about motorcycles, so
I don't know either.
Good movie, but we'll skip it.
I actually have my motorcycle license, but anyway.
Yeah, when was the last time you rode a motorcycle?
The day I got my license, it was the last time I drove a motorcycle.
Was it even a motorcycle or was it a moped? Be real.
It was
Be
a
honest.
moped.
Yeah, okay.
It was a moped. So I wasn't even,
We actually have DVDs of the Ocean's movies?
Yes, we have all of the Ocean's movies.
What is this?
For whatever reason.
Road Trip Ready?
Oh, no. That's the movie they shot in Naperville.
Oh.
That's Shaky. That's the one. Do you remember that? I was involved in the making of that movie.
I do remember that.
Yes. That actually. And I found, here's the bad thing. You know where I got that from?
Oh, God, where?
The dollar store.
Oh, man.
When I
Dollar Tree never fails.
When I picked it up at the dollar store, I thought, oh, my gosh, that's...
that's
if you
a
end up
point.
there,
I saw Bill O'Reilly had a book at the dollar store.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's where a lot of his books are. Yeah.
So, RV, possible.
Maybe.
If we get desperate.
I don't know.
If it's like episode 320, then maybe.
I love RVs. I absolutely love RVs. I think RVs are cool things.
I will probably buy an RV.
Will you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Because Bella's family has grown up around RVs.
No.
And I
didn't know that.
Well, just before we started dating.
Yeah.
Actually, no, just after we started dating. I don't know if you remember, her grandpa passed away, and he had a big RV.
Really?
It had a blown motor in it. It's some old Dodge. It honestly was probably the same motor that was in our truck. It was probably the 5.9.
Okay.
And I found this out recently. I was talking to her grandma, and she was like, we would have given you the RV if you had a place for it.
Wow.
Like, because she's like, you could motor swap it. And I was like...
So
I was like, I appreciate that, but basically, we talk about motorhomes literally all the time, so that'll probably be in our future.
So Bella's back on my good list.
Okay, yeah, jeez, only been 5 years.
Yeah,
not a movie to review on this podcast, but The Ringer. Talk about a movie that could never be made ever again.
My gosh, no.
You remember this movie, right?
I do remember that movie.
He sneaks into the Special Olympics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, special. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, talk about a mid-2000s movie.
Yes.
I think we can skip Schoolhouse Rock.
Junction.
Yeah. Laugh.
What else do we have?
The 3-movie collection.
Oh, they had. Oh, yes.
Talladega Nights.
Yes.
We got to do Talladega Nights.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know we had this. Step Brothers and the other guys.
So Step Brothers, not anything.
The other guys, there's the cocaine-covered Prius, but that's it.
Yeah, the cocaine-covered Prius.
But Talladega Nights, definitely.
Yeah, that would be
definitely.
Good. I enjoyed that movie a lot. I really
even if
enjoyed
you're not
that
into
movie.
cars, let me write this down.
Yep. Talladega. Yeah, I forgot that we had that. We have a DVD that actually has all 3 movies on one.
I would say these are probably the 3 most important movies of the 2000s, at least for like my generation's comedy.
Which ones?
Talladega Nights.
Yep, Talladega Nights.
The Other Guys. And Step Brothers. Mainly Step Brothers.
Step Brothers, yeah.
Just like the amount of comedy that came out of that.
Oh gosh, yeah, amazing. That obviously was a Will Ferrell 3 CD set, yeah. So.
John C. Reilly's in 2 of them. He's not in the other guys, but yeah. Zoolander, no, but they have that Jeep scene, the gas station
Jeep scene. Yeah.
Yeah,
Zoolander's no.
Transformers.
Well,
it's a lot of cars.
It is a lot of cars.
I would say we should do the first one.
Well, I agree because of Bumblebee and that Camaro. However,
it's all GM product placement.
Is it really?
Oh,
is it all
every
GM?
single Transformer in the movie is a GM vehicle.
Well, okay. So here's the thing about that. I mean, Transformer movies go way too fast for me. I am an old ancient man.
Right.
And thanks for agreeing with me.
Yeah.
But really, they go by so fast. Mm-hmm. Those young kids and their rock and roll music, and they just like it's so hard for my brain to but we could do that. We could do the Camaro. Yeah. We could do. Because it is a very, very cool Camaro.
We do the Top Gear 50 Years of Bond cars.
Yep, there we go.
I don't know if we'll cover that on a podcast. But
that'd be hard to do.
I'm glad that we own it, at least.
Yeah, me too. I'm very glad that we own that.
Speed
you
Racer.
Bought that for me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Speed Racer, now that is...
So, here's
talk
the
about
thing.
Iconic, yeah.
If we do Speed Racer, we have to do Initial D.
Initial D. Yes.
The Japanese cartoon.
Okay.
That has the RX-7s in it. And
so,
that's Speed Racer for my generation.
Yes, but can we get... Is that available anywhere? Can we get that?
Yes, we could. Last I checked, we could stream it on Funimation with ads.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Nick might have an ad-free account on there.
That's possible. So
there's also a lot of bootlegs on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
We could just find an episode and like...
All right, well, that's fine if we find an episode.
Not that we support that, but...
But I think I actually have video of you playing Initial D video game at the... Ghost in the Recon or whatever.
Oh, Galloping Ghost Arcade.
Yes.
Yeah. They had an old Initial D game.
Initial
D like 1 or 2.
Yeah, it was that was pretty cool. I think
they're on like 5 or 6 for the cabinets, but
I think
Initial D would be great because I found on Amazon they have Initial D movies.
Oh, okay.
However, they are subtitled and not dubbed. So they're
that's
subtitle.
Fine. That's fine.
You're fine with that? I can't read fast.
Well, so I can't read fast either, but I've watched the 7 Samurai.
Yeah.
With just the
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm just reading a book at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to try and.
I was staring at the bottom of the screen. I'm like, I don't know what anyone looks like in this movie.
So
I haven't seen a single face.
Okay, so Speed Racer, though, I think we should talk about Speed Racer at least in the fact that. That was that was huge to me growing up.
I think that's it that we own on DVD besides, all the James Bond movies.
Yes, we have
every single James Bond movie.
Every single one.
But I think this is a hefty list.
For the current one. Yeah, it is a pretty hefty list. And that's just almost just what we own.
Yeah.
We can look for other stuff.
I do want to get into like the terrible bootleg car movies like
we have to do
Survive. No, Drive to Survive is the F1 documentary. That's actually good. Yes, that was a poor.
All right.
It's not what I meant.
Yeah. All right. Sure.
But no, there's always those like terrible, like Fast and Furious itself is like a knockoff.
Yeah, it is.
It's goofy, but then people knock that off.
Right. So it's a knockoff
it
of a knockoff.
It becomes this Xerox of a Xerox of a Xerox where you can't even tell what the image was anymore.
Yeah. No, it's...
so I'd love to do those, and whenever we do... This is a long episode, man, but whenever
we can cut it down.
That's fine. Whenever we do...
When
we do an episode, and the rest of the episodes will have a movie feature, we'll say where we watched them, where we could stream them.
Good. Yeah.
Or if we rented them or whatever have you.
Yeah,
we'll let the people know where you can watch them, or if you own it. I mean, that's a different story. But
yeah, I mean, it's if in talking with you about this stuff, there's like a car in just about every movie. It's unbelievable how many cars are in movies.
Well, part of the reason I want to start this is, first of all, I want to do like a themed podcast. I have the Shooting Cars podcast, but it never has a point. I mean, like, it's great, but like we never
we have one that we've
okay, fair enough. But whenever I watch a movie, a regular movie, I'm always looking at the cars either in the background or that the characters are driving.
Right.
Bella and I watched Easy A. Have you seen that movie?
I've seen pieces of Emma Stone. I know the premise and everything. And
she drives. I'm forgetting now. She drives some old. Okay, or take this. 13 Reasons Why.
Okay.
Right. You know that show that.
That is actually a remake of Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. But go ahead. Yes, it is.
Protagonist's best friend drives a '60s Mustang.
Oh, cool.
He's a high school kid.
All right.
Why would they give a high school kid no one drives a '60s Mustang as a regular car anymore?
No, true. They don't.
So I find it super interesting why they cast certain characters to have certain cars. Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Yes.
Great film.
Yes.
The love interest drives like a '70s Volkswagen Rabbit convertible cabriolet.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
No. She does drive a Mustang. She also drives a Mustang, right? Oh shoot! Now I'm forgetting.
We're gonna have to put up some sort of a cork board with strings attached to all the different movies.
It might be a blue Mustang.
There's a lot of Ford Mustangs.
But there's like these normal people driving these old.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that doesn't happen.
Right.
I get it. It's like this character choice.
Yeah. Well, they would be driving a G6 is what they really would be doing.
Another instance.
Yeah.
I think is it Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Oh, yeah.
Michael Cera?
Yeah, that was actually a really good movie. I enjoyed that movie.
He drives a Yugo GV.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. Which, even at the time of filming, those cars were really rare.
Really? Yeah.
Well, because they were built not to last. I mean, I reviewed that one. They're terrible built cars.
I love Yugos.
Like, that to me was like the older directors chose that because that was like a crappy car from their childhood. Or not childhood, but when they had their license.
That would have been like driving the Chevette that I used to have.
Yeah, that was like a late 80s crappy car. But this movie was shot in the 2000s. So it's like, that's not really the topical. What they should have put him in was like a Geo Prism.
Yeah.
That's coming out. Well, it'll already be out on the Shooting Cars YouTube channel as a Geo Prism review. So something like that. So like that's why I kind of want to start this podcast. And I know you're very into movies, and we can talk about behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And
and I think what you were just talking about the fact that they put people in different cars, it is all about the persona, the character. It's because even psychologically and subconsciously, people have feelings about different vehicles and cars. Yeah. And so...
But it's just funny because sometimes it takes me out of the moment.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
There's a movie I actually rewatched recently. It's one of my favorite movies, actually. It's this total B movie that no one cares about. It's The Night We First Met.
Oh.
It stars Adam Devine from Workaholics. And it's it's a time travel love story.
Okay.
It sounds terrible, but I love the movie.
Really?
And they're one of the best friends in the movie. She's this photographer, mid-20s. She's driving this 60s Bronco.
Okay.
And it's just like, no. There's no way that you're daily driving a 60s Bronco.
Yeah.
In the 20-teens. It takes place in 2017.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's weird.
I mean, just thinking of like the 60s Mustang that I reviewed.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing is temperamental. Yeah. You worry about it. It's a vintage piece of, it's a collector's item pretty much. You don't daily drive a 50 or 60-year-old car.
Right. I get that. And we can talk about this more about selections of vehicles in movies because when you are a movie director and when you're trying to put something together, what you're trying to do visually is to create characters visually. And so if you have a certain car, you're creating a certain visual mystique about that character. You're doing a lot. Well, so a lot of character development there, actually. But
possible one we could do.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
True.
A lot of people recreate those Jeeps.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a fun thing to do. I think was that what kind of car was that? Was it a Jeep, just a Cherokee?
It's just a Jeep
something?
Wrangler. A lot
Wrangler?
of people build because they're so easy. I mean, the Jeep Wranglers, they're not a dime a dozen. They're not cheap, but they're around.
That's a funny thing.
Stupidly expensive.
That's a funny thing is I always wanted to buy a Jeep. I don't know why. Always wanted a Jeep, but they're so expensive. Even an old Jeep that should be a beater. That should be.
Yeah, my friend sold her 04 Jeep long base, 120,000 miles.
Yeah.
She sold it for $14,000.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is that it's not
stupid.
like
the Jeep market is stupid. But
really...
something we could talk about is they had Ford Explorers made for that movie, because they had the all glass tops.
Oh right,
and
exactly,
they had to construct a glass top for these Ford Explorers specifically so Spielberg could get one shot.
Yeah.
Of the dinosaur, the people in the car, and the dinosaur comes up in the background.
Well, it's
the only reason they had to build a car.
Yeah.
Just for a shot.
Yeah, I mean it's an iconic shot, though. I mean,
it is an iconic shot. He knows what he's doing, but
right. But yeah, I mean there are vehicles. I mean, obviously there are vehicles made.
Something else I saw on Netflix, the movie The Car.
Yeah.
1970s blacked out car. That it's a murderous car.
Yeah.
Could do that. I saw that. I was just trying to look through.
That's another one. Actually, Spielberg's first movie was Duel, and that's where a giant
the trucker,
truck,
right?
Yeah, the trucker.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's another one. The Cars would be a good one to do. Definitely, we should do the Christine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Christine is just a great. I don't know. It's weird, but I would still like to have that car.
Yeah.
I still would like to. Now that I know it's a Plymouth Fury. And,
Well, actually, I forgot to mention that was technically 50 whatever year. It was in the movie 58.
58.
The Plymouth Fury actually didn't exist till 59.
Oh.
The Plymouth Fury in the movie is a Plymouth Belvedere Fury.
Really?
Yeah. So it's one of those trim level things that then became its own thing.
Plymouth Belvedere Fury.
That's what I read online. That also could be completely false.
If it's online, it's got to be true.
Yeah, I mean,
if it's on the interwebs, it's got to be true.
If I said it on this podcast,
right,
which now probably has no listeners to this point. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, they're probably sleeping.
So yeah. Wake up! It's all a dream. This isn't real. You're in a coma. So I think we can call it there.
Yeah.
How much time did we do? I'm posting it all, baby.
Wow, hour 57.
Ooh,
that's a lot of time.
That's a lot. I think it's the longest podcast I've done to date.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, we could talk about this for hours. I think the regular episodes will be shorter because we'll just have one topic, hopefully.
Well, probably one movie, one topic, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, there's so much because, like you said, actually, you didn't say it. I said it. But like I said, almost every single movie has some vehicle and some car in it that you can... And it's because we have this love affair with cars and vehicles, and it's the American way. I mean, it's like it is. It's really
no, it is. Now that I just thought of it, Italian Job.
Oh, both Italian jobs. The old one.
Yeah,
which by the way,
original one and the Mini Cooper advertisement.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean, it was really just. Let's be honest here.
It was,
and you know what?
It was
worked.
It did.
That's what I knew the Mini Cooper from when I was a kid.
Absolutely.
Mr. Bean.
Really?
Yeah, Mr. Bean and the Italian Job. The Mark Wahlberg one. Mark Wahlberg.
I just watched the original Italian Job.
Mm.
It's amazing the difference between the two movies. They are like night and day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just namesake and driving Mini Coopers through tunnels.
That's exactly what it is.
I mean,
that's the only difference. I mean, that's all that they did. They took the driving Mini Coopers through tunnels in Italy.
Who did the Lion King reboot? He also did Iron Man, and he did
Favreau.
Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
So he said in an interview, he said that there's key moments in the original Lion King that everyone remembers.
Yeah.
Lifting the baby up.
Yeah.
Everything you see, everything the light touches is your. Yeah.
Okay.
He said those scenes we did not touch. Yeah. They are recreations of the same thing. Yeah. But he said there's like an hour and 30 minutes that no one remembers.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, there's always parts of movies that no one remembers, and he's like, that's where we had our artistic freedoms. That's where we could put our own footprints in.
You know what, Lion King?
What?
No cars. No. There were no cars in that film.
You know what? I think you're the first person to say that. Well, what an astute observation. A movie about talking animals.
Where there's no cars. Oh, I don't know. So
is that what time period does Lion King even take place?
Well, what really matters is then is it really worth watching?
Yeah, no, there's just a Countach in the background.
I mean, if there was like a Jeep,
there was horses. We could say there's Mustangs and
true. I guess
Broncos
and
trying to think
Cougars.
Old
Maybe,
Mercury Cougars.
Mercury Cougar.
There's no hyena car.
No, there's no meerkat cars either. That I know of.
No. There's a Jaguar.
The Jaguar. Although, was there a Jaguar in Lion King? I don't think so.
Probably not like a V8. Like
I guarantee there were no cars in Lion King.
All right. Hey, so I'm sorry to disappoint our viewers, but we will not be covering Lion King.
It's the reboot. One movie.
Yeah, it's one. You know, we should find movies that don't have any cars.
Wow. I don't know if
the non-car car podcast.
So
no cars. So no cars allowed.
So in the car.
Yeah.
Car podcast. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't. There's not many films though
that don't have any cars.
That don't have any cars in them. Yeah, I mean, could you? All right, so Lion King. Could you name another movie that doesn't have a car in it?
I mean, like excluding cartoons, but also 101 Dalmatians. Whatever DeVille. She had a
Duesenberg, didn't she, or
something like that? I'm sure it was just some drawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Car. I mean, Star Wars cars. Definitely.
Speeders.
Yeah, it was cars.
Nothing with four wheels.
Yeah, whatever. It's
they had one at the Volo Auto Museum. They have
a speeder?
Yeah. Oh, you haven't been in a long time. Me and Bella went last year. Yeah, they had a full-size speeder. They're making it hover somehow. I'm sure there was like a pole behind it or something.
Magic.
Yeah. But they had the speeder from the first movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually
back in the corner.
I know of different people that have actually built like full metal, actual drivable speeders.
Or they just put it on top of like a smart car.
Yeah, I mean it's like on some
bicycle.
Basically, yeah.
Got to pedal it.
Roller skate wheels. Or something.
Yeah, I don't know anything else that doesn't have a single car. I mean, like
now one single car in.
Avatar.
Avatar. No, there's cars in there.
Okay.
Well, kind of. I mean, they're like troop transports. I guess those would be considered cars. I guess maybe.
Anyway, we'll be skipping the movies without cars because that's exactly contrary to this podcast. That's literally the exact opposite.
What if we could talk about if they had a car? Like, if Lion King had a car. If Lion King had a car in it.
If we're real desperate for episodes like that, and I mean this in all sincerity, I want you to put a bullet in the back of my head.
Wow. Okay.
If we're making podcasts about what would Lion King be like if there was a 2004 Toyota Corolla in it, then we have hit rock bottom and we have dug ourselves another 50 feet deeper.
That is pretty bad.
That's real bad.
That is pretty bad.
So
Hot Fuzz? Does Hot Fuzz have a car in it?
Oh, yeah, tons of cars. Okay. They have this really cool shot that I always think about. They must have had the camera on, like real down low on a bumper.
Okay.
And it's just like the flashing lights and you see the road.
Oh, okay.
Like it was like on like a real dark road. It was a really cool shot.
Well, that's true.
Because remember, he puts him in the back of the trunk.
Yes.
And he kidnaps him.
What was the James Bond guy that was in that movie? Timothy Dalton.
Yeah. He plays the supermarket owner.
He plays the supermarket owner, and he's got like a Jaguar or some nice car or something. He's got like some convertible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he drives by the guy that was beheaded in the car accident.
Yes.
Oh, terrible way to go.
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, okay. So, anything,
yeah. No, I guarantee you almost every movie has at least a car in it.
So, we will be reviewing every movie.
We're going to do every single movie, starting with... I don't even know. Charlie Chaplin?
Yeah, some of the very first movies.
I remember I saw he's chasing after a pickup truck.
Yeah.
That has a...
And there's the paddy wagon, all those old movies with the paddy wagon.
He's doing something. He's chasing after like a pickup truck that has like a piece of wood sticking out the back and like a red flag.
Maybe.
But it's black and white, so you couldn't tell it was a red flag. But like in film class, he's like, that's a red flag. And we're like, okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
But I think we've hit upon the actual reason for films to be is
to show off cars.
To show off cars.
Yeah. Even in Pacific Rim, you know that movie with the big fighting robots?
Right.
There's a shot of a little girl in the street, and behind her is a 93 RX-7.
No.
Mint.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Probably gets destroyed, but that's fine.
Wow. Guardians of the Galaxy, they're driving cars in the 80s.
Yeah.
Flashbacks.
With, Russell Crowe or whatever his face is? Russell Brand?
No.
Stephen King? Who plays his dad? Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell plays his dad, of course. And they're driving this really cool. I think it was a Mustang. It might have been, but it might have been like not the cool Mustang.
Our Mustang's cliche.
Very cliche.
I think every single car we've mentioned has been a Mustang.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of G6s driving around in movies.
Because why would you want to be seen in one?
Okay, but if you wanted a really plain vanilla character who blends into everything, you would choose the G6. That car was invisible. You could drive that car anywhere and literally not be seen.
Here's another thing we could... Well, that is true. And that is something I miss about that car.
Yes.
And also parking in the front spots at Walmart. Yeah. Because now with my new car, I park in like the very last...
Oh, you got to park way...
I take no chances with that thing.
You got to park in Guam if you're going to be going to... Yeah, you got.
It sucks right now because I went to the store... What was it, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
My phone was saying it was -20 with the wind chill.
Yeah.
And I parked so far.
Oh, you got to. Yeah, you got to.
Something we could try, though, is there's the Internet Movie Car Database, and you can just look up manufacturers and see what movies the cars were in.
Wow.
You know what? We're going to do a dedicated episode of the podcast to the G6, and we're going to go through all the pieces of media that the G6 was in the background of.
Really? I mean...
It's probably going to be like one movie.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But we are going real long.
Yeah,
I'm going to cut this off.
2 hours and 7 minutes.
If you guys have any ideas for names, ideas for the podcast, anything you want to say, you can just leave it in the comments.
Yeah, it's pretty
Let us know. I'm super excited to do this podcast.
I am too. It's fun.
I think it'll be interesting. And we are going to do car-heavy movies. I know we're just kind of playing around. Yeah. We're definitely going to do car-heavy movies. If we get to the point where we're doing Lion King with no cars, literally, I will just freely give out my address, and you can just send whatever it is. You could send a NATO missile here. Whatever.
Cruise missile or something. I agree. If we get to that point, because it's just there's way too much stuff out there.
Yeah.
Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean. Did they have cars?
No, because that's a period piece. Well, not period piece, but like.
Well,
They got ships.
Fred Flintstone was in.
That's true.
Now that is fact accurate. That is an accurate movie. Fred.
So terrible. Maybe we'll do the live action one and just want to grind our teeth on the curb because that's not good. The John Goodman one is not good.
No. I
also, quick side note: we're terrible at ending podcasts. This is the Midwestern goodbye of podcasts.
Right.
None of my friends know what the Jetsons are.
What?
Yeah.
Jetsons.
The Jetsons. I mean, I couldn't name the characters.
Yeah. George Jetson, Judy, Flo. I don't know.
I mean, I don't even know.
Rosie, the robot.
I just remember
Jane, Elroy. You got
Oh my God! All right, we've hit our limit. Here. We've hit our limit. I'm calling it. We don't have any social media. I mean, I guess you can follow Shooting Cars on Instagram. But yeah, let us know if you have any ideas.
Well, or you could go to ZachPradel.com.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you could. Yeah. Sure.
Why not? ZachPradel.com.
All right. We'll see.
ZACK.
Yeah, ZACK as full circle podcast.
Circle.
2 hours later. Yeah.
I'm gonna drop the microphone now.
Oh man. I'm gonna sleep in my car tonight. All right. Take care, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Take care.